with silencers, what we've been seeing lately is suffer and silence, not the reverberating. So BKB does get you out. Or did they change this? Did they change this on silencer? He still has reverberating as his other facet, right?
No, that one's gone. It's now
gone.
suffer and silence. So it just does more damage to silence targets. I wish they had left reverberating, actually. I think that was cool, but they decided it was too strong. So yeah, they took it out.
30 seconds to battle.
Thank God. Okay, cool. So that changes up a lot. So yeah, it will just be the suffer and silence silencer. So with this, we're going to jump into game number 1. It is Heroic versus OG.LATAM. The smoke about to pop Mouse. I don't know why I said Mouse. Moose. Hits a dagger. A curse connects. They're like, never mind. We have 2 heroes mid. We're not taking this fight.
The battle begins.
Yeah, they don't know that on the side of OG, so they decided to play it safe. You have a decent... This goes back to the stuns, right? You actually have a decent level 1 fight, but nothing to really prevent them from just walking away from you. So even if you wanted to take the fight, you can't really force it. All right, they end up running AA down here. I know you talked about potentially swamping it, but I do think Ancient Apparition will have an easier time staying away from Undying, and also the Ringmaster. You just can't shackle if there's a Ringmaster in your lane. It never happens because of Tame the Beast. You just pop it instantly, and you cover such a wide area that it's very hard to ever stand somewhere to shackle. So they're going to run him top with the Magnus, and that might be better because now you can skewer someone into tower potentially and shackle them there. There's not really an easy way to cancel it for Medusa and Silencer, like eventually Last Word procs, but shackle's almost done at that point.
So far, top side, Whisper is taking a lot of damage here from this Medusa, which is not surprising. The wave's in a really good spot though, so as long as you just play conservatively here, you don't die, you'll get some levels, you'll do fine.
Mid lane, Beastmaster will be okay to start. As Sniper gets more levels, I do think you can't really just sit in the lane anymore at that point, but that's why Beastmaster works here, because even if you don't crush your mid matchup, you go, okay, I'm just gonna go jungle, right? You can do it really easily, shove in the waves with some axe spam, and then go stack for yourself. So I think it'll mostly just farm in the mid lane until some rotations happen, which this game, I'd say Shadow Shaman's the best rotator, so it's maybe Sniper who has to be a little bit more careful. Get him, Illich. I want to see these decays. I want to see this off lane Undying.
Ooh, top lane Schofield. He's gonna get out with foul play for the moment. He's gonna try and get denied, maybe. But nah, first blood into the hands of El Micho. That's the first brain drain of the game. I'm sure many more to come.
Everyone warming up. I see Shadow Shaman already TPing to the triangle after dying. It is a difficult lane, actually. Like, wherever you put the Shadow Shaman, it's not the easiest time for him, because bottom would have been Undying, and then the Ringmaster can cancel all the shackles. But then top side, you've got Medusa and Silencer, 2 really strong ranged harassers, and you're a short-ranged hero. So the start of the game will be quite difficult for Schofield. But he's no stranger to space making as essentially a melee hero on Shadow Shaman. You know, get what you can get done, drag creep waves, stack, be annoying, put yourself in weird places, and you might die, but you draw a lot of attention to yourself.
I am kind of curious, like, how they're going... Oh, we're looking at the bottom lane real quick. I was going to say, I'm kind of curious how they're going to do, like, with Well, let me see. Let me take a look at CS, because actually I'm kind of curious what the numbers are right now and how the heroes are doing. It's actually pretty even across all of the cores. I was going to say, if the Terrorblade actually comes out of the lane in a pretty good spot, I think they're going to be happy about like their state of the game, because I feel like Undying should do well for the most part. Like, I think Undying is one of those heroes that like should kind of win the Terrorblade lane. Like we said, it's just really good in that matchup, but it struggles as the game goes on. So I feel like if the Terrorblade gets off to a good start, is able to farm and stuff like that, then yeah, ideally that would be like best case scenario for Heroic. So I do like their team fight going on, like going forward.
I think once you get to the team fight, it'll be good. Yuma should still farm okay. Like, he's being denied a little bit from the Undying. It's pretty unavoidable, right? You get hit by a decay, and Undying has so much damage. But you're still getting a good amount of XP on Terrorblade, and his support Ancient Apparition has just been, you know, helping with runes and doing some early stacks. So Terrorblade is getting more solo XP, and he can catch up through the stacks that are being made, or it'll be for his Beastmaster to get a faster tempo going, which I'm curious to see if we're going to get the Aghanims build out of the Beastmaster. Looks like Ringmaster ends up falling on the bottom side. You do have to, it looks like meta got popped for it. You got to respect the meta. The Beastmaster build, like you said, has shifted towards the Helm of the Overlord because the build-up for Dominator got better while Ags got nerfed. But from the mid lane, I kind of feel like you still want the Aghanims. That's what I'm not so sure on.
I kind of agree. I feel like if you're going to play this in the mid lane, like Helm of the Overlord is still not bad, but it's a lot easier for people to rotate. Oh, speaking of rotating, Tai Lung gets his first assassinate kill of the game on the sniper. It's a lot easier to rotate heroes into the mid lane to deal with, you know, your Helm of the Overlord push. So unless he like gets Helm of the Overlord and then just leaves and goes to the top lane or something, then I'd understand that. Like, if that's how you want to use the pressure of the Helm of the Overlord. But yeah, I'm with you. I feel like Aghanim Scepter is probably the better option, and I think with the amount of stacks we're seeing in the triangle being made at the moment by Schofield, like the amount of focus that they're doing there, I feel like we might be seeing Ag's Beastmaster come back a little bit.
Yeah, with the Ancient Apparition especially, right, it amplifies the Aghanims build more than it would the Helm of the Overlord. Though the Helm of the Overlord might let you take objectives faster, which, I don't know, like, that'd be kind of good versus Medusa. You know, you like restrict her farm space, and these supports aren't the greatest at dealing with the creeps, so I don't know. I'll let Analog will decide in a moment. He's about to finish his power treads, and I'm sure he'll pick his next item, and he'll let us know what he thinks is better for the game in just a second.
I mean, I'm not opposed to either one. I think both are fine. I think with the Ancient Apparition, like you said, Ags has a little bit more value potentially. At Sentry, is it in range? It is, so he sees it. Okay, he'll get rid of this. A lot of pressure coming into the mid lane as Ringmaster and El Misho make their way over. It's Schofield, the saddest death. Oh man, he just bled to death.
Can't really get away from that. This time it is the ghillie suit, the longer duration shrapnel. We saw some scatter shots come back again, but scatter shot's not been as impressive since it got nerfed. It does give you some power spikes in the early phases, but you just don't really have farming potential without the longer duration shrapnel, which I actually think is quite nice to have this game, like ghillie suit aside, just because you know they're going to stack a lot when they have a Beastmaster and they have a Magnus. Ooh, RP, skewer back. It's just going to be the Ringmaster, but you'll take whatever kill you can get in the early game. You don't need to save it, especially because his blink is still halfway away, you know? So by the time the blink's finished and it's easier to get a bigger target, like then you'll go for like the snipers and the Medusas, but just quick support kill, straight back to farming on the Magnus.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like in a lot of scenarios I'd be like, I don't know about that one, but RP is not a super easy spell to hit, especially without having to like use skewer to get on top of them initially. So just gets a freebie, puts it on cooldown like you said, and gets him closer to that. Yeah, dude, I can't wait till we get to see the amount of stacks being made this game, because Ancient Apparition and Shadow Shaman, I'm guessing it's well over like 12 already for the side of Heroic.
It's under attack.
Definitely a lot. Is it already 12? 9 minutes in. Ancient Apparition's
Dude,
one of the best double stackers. I mean, it really could be. You're giving up your mid tower in this time, though. Ancient
Yeah.
Apparition, not as good at dealing with this stuff. One of the nerfs he got is Ice Vortex being a little harder to use,
God.
but he does get the deny. That's pretty nice. Ultimately, you still lose your tower, but, you know, remove a bit of gold from the enemy team.
Dude, they are still stacking. He's like, I'll get another ancient stack on my way over. No worries. Bottom lane, they drop the Serpent Ward, so Schofield's going to use this to try and just chip away at this tier 1 tower. And it's going to get some good damage in.
Some serious respect from Illich there. Doesn't want to walk into the Observer wards because he's worried about Hex Shackle, even with the Ringmaster behind him, being able to cancel that easily. So just drags the creep wave away and lets Moose deal with the wards. You take a bit more tower damage for it, but it's still got about half its health.
Radiant are scanning.
What is Undying going for this game? Oh, there's the blink reveal from the Magnus. Gonna get a quick Undying kill. Doesn't even need to use the RP. So
What?
pretty solid blink reveal there.
Yeah, okay. 10-minute blink dagger on your off lane. I think that's about as good as you could ask for. That's really solid from Whisper, and he's actually going to be able to use it here once again. Finds the Medusa into the Shackle. RP to follow. You need a lot more damage here. You need to get through this mana so she can't pop the Stone Gaze, and there it is. Yuma will secure the kill on the Terrorblade coming through that Twin Gate. Or, I'm sorry, just TPing in thanks to the Twin Gate rotation from Whisper. That is such a good play. They get a great kill bottom. They take down the Undying. They now take out the Medusa top side. And yeah, this is really good stuff.
That's actually the dream blink reveal. You get a kill in 2 different lanes with your first blinks. I think those are like the 2 times he cast blink. It's a kill every time so far. So that's really value on this Magnus, who does have the BKB queued up next. I think when you're playing this type of repositioning hero, you like Magnus has 2 different builds. You either go for more right click damage, and that's where you see like harpoons and stuff, but that's been a little bit worse since empowerment got nerfed. The spellcasting Magnus, which might still take the eternal empowerment, you kind of go like blink, BKB, refresher, but sometimes there's an item in between. We were talking about Ags. We'll see what else like might go in there, but really your main job is just to make sure you can go in, grab heroes, and skewer them out.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We do have an Aghanims being worked on by the Beastmaster, so did decide to make use of the Ice Vortex amplification from the Ancient Apparition, bring the tempo, and I guess when you have the Magnus, right, you're hoping he's going to grab a couple heroes with a RP. You'll get that AoE damage from that Aghanims to do a little bit more in those times. About 1,000 gold off the Aghanims. Pretty fast Ags, considering the sniper response, so it wasn't the freest lane for Beastmaster, but just shoved in the lane, did the stacks, and we'll still have a fairly fast Aghanims time, which will open up Roche still. It's a bit worse, but that's actually where you have Serpent Ward to help you out. So a combination of these 2 abilities should allow for very quick Roche kills.
Blink, skewer back in the bottom lane.
Wow.
They get to move.
Oh, it's a low ground.
Yeah, a little bit interesting there. Ice Blast will connect. Good tame the beast to fear him out. Whisper, he does have an RP. Probably not going to use it. Does have a shockwave. Does the board get in range? It does not, but... Oh, he almost funhouse mirrored it. That would have been so sick. I think that was just like slightly unlucky because the illusion didn't get caught. So like he almost had a 50-50 chance of dodging that.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice try. I didn't realize there's that little pocket there. I thought he got skewered to the high ground to start, and he was definitely dead. But makes him work for it. Does fall in the end. But kind
Yeah,
of
they're
space
smoking
made
topside now.
for Medusa. I am wondering when they're going to get together with this Undying, though. He's typically a strong early game hero. His lane went okay, but he's not really a fast farming hero, so he is at the bottom of the net worths. He's working on a Crimson Guard, which would be very good this game. Maybe that's the timing they want. You know, when you get the Crimson Guard on Undying, Sniper will have, looks like a Hurricane Pike is almost done for him. I don't quite think Medusa is going to join those early pushes. Maybe with Stone Gaze, you know, you like show up, help take a tower or something. Maybe that top tower. I don't think you really care to siege a tier 2 at this stage of the game as the Medusa, but you know, maybe get that tier 1, open up more of the map for yourself to farm. But this is where I'm a little worried when you don't have the initiators and playmakers, right? It's like, well, how do you start things for OG? It almost has to be a farming early game, whether you want to or not.
Well, they're going to smoke. And yeah, I'm not really entirely sure where or who they're going to go for. It looks like the line's being drawn towards bottom. They only have this one ward here in this jungle spawn that can give them something to play around, but
Radiant's middle tower is under
yeah,
attack.
they're definitely not going to find anybody. They just use this, place another ward on the enemy triangle, and then they're just going to use this time to farm. So OG really not finding anything at the moment. But again, this kind of comes back to like the side of Heroic. They kind of, it seems like they have a very different read on the game. Like they're just very content sitting back and farming towards their, like, I would say their 2-item or 3-item timing is really strong. So I am curious if like that's all they're really playing for. Like they're working on BKB for the Magnus, they're working on the Blink for the Beastmaster, and you just have a Terrorblade who's just going to keep farming. So
I mean, I do think you need a couple items because you need to answer global. You don't want to commit and then be like, oh, can't use spells, I guess we die now, right? So you need a few items to address what OG does have, but over time, as you pick up those items, it will become much easier for Heroic to just randomly find a pickoff. You know, like, oh, your cores alone, Hex shackle them for forever. You know, like, oh, 2 heroes here, like, RP skewer them back, right? It's just the odds are in your favor to eventually find a random pickoff and then force a bigger team fight with that number advantage for Heroic. Their late game, even in a direct team fight, it's not bad. Like, OG has some good stuff in a direct team fight where they're all together walking at objectives. But I mean, look at Heroic. You know, you got the Terrorblade meta is really strong. RP and Roar, Ice Blast are always good in team fights. So I think Heroic doesn't feel a lot of pressure. They're gonna make the early plays while they can, and they're gonna, you know, they're not gonna like sit AFK waiting for the ultra late game. But I don't think they have to be scared. I think the game is harder for OG in its current state.
yeah, okay. I'm kind of with you on this one. They do have a good ward here. This was placed when they took the Wisdom Shrine at like 14 minutes, thanks to KJ. And they're looking for the Medusa. They know K1 is back here. He was seen farming on the medium camp.
Blink BKB ready for Magnus. I think they were looking for Medusa, but don't want to hang around too long. Beastmaster just finished his Blink, so they have a really strong timing here. You could use both these heroes to win some early fights, get the Roche, get the Tormentor, really get yourself to a quick 5-10k gold lead. What do we have? We have Crimson Guard on the Undying.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Good
attack.
item this game for sure, right? Anytime you're playing against an illusion hero or just TB, the amount of physical damage he does needs to be reduced somehow. So Crimson Guard, great. Does have the shard queued up next for the grab ally, but yeah, they're gonna get the blink, the skewer back, ice blast, unnecessary. They had everyone ready and waiting. A great find from Whisper.
Ice Blast
they will
gets
just drop the
used, but
Serpent
it's a
Wards and-
pretty low cooldown, so not that
Yeah.
big of a commitment. It's not like you have to use RP or BKBs, anything like that. So they might push this tier 2 a little bit. They drop the Serpent Wards. Still
Half
level
mana
1
left.
Serpent Wards, so on its own wouldn't take this tower, but actually Terrorblade is here, decides to get some tower damage in with the meta. I guess that was the biggest commitment of the last thing. But yeah, you get a tier 2 out of it. More control on this top half of the map. If you go straight... actually, I don't know. Can you do Roche? You don't have Serpent Wards anymore, but Beastmaster's pretty strong now. He's just been farming. I think you could get Roche straight into Tormentor top if you wanted to.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, is it worth trying to do that or just getting Tormentor? Because you've taken tier 1, tier 2 top. Like, you pretty much have free reign to do whatever you want. They are going to potentially look to smoke here on the side of OG, as I think they're starting to realize they're losing kind of control of the map right now. Do that or just getting Tormentor, because you've taken tier 1, tier 2 top. Like, you pretty much have free reign to do whatever you want. They are going to potentially look to smoke here on the side of OG, as I think they're starting to realize they're losing kind of control of the map right now.
Yeah, I thought you might try to grab Roche, but maybe that's the kind of fight. Well, we're about to get a big fight here, actually.
Oh, he gets the Blink Skewer onto 2, the RP to follow. Ringmaster's dead. There's the global silence. It does not come out in time. Hector, oh, he might shatter anyway. He needs a little bit of help. Assassinate does connect here on the Whisper. Illich trying to chase, but can't really get his hands onto anybody. Yuma starting to threaten here on this Terrorblade. Doesn't have the meta for another 20 seconds. So they will just go ahead, isolate that Undying. He gets brought down thanks to the roar from Analog. And that is a 2-for-1 exchange.
I mean, that was a taste of what I think we will see for a lot in this game, is that Magnus finds some heroes, splits them up, and when OG tries to come help, you use your advanced tactics of walking away to not allow them to get any other hero kills. So you lose the Shadow Shaman, but you get the offlane Undying, you get a support Ringmaster. You almost got the Medusa. Yeah, KJ paying the price there, but it's necessary. It gets him the shard, so he's happy to pay that price. Maybe that extra stun will help them finish the Medusa kill next time. Medusa is at the top of the net worth. I think she had the butterfly right before that fight happened, so that's part of what helped keep her alive.
Yeah.
And she finds an amplified damage. She's gonna go straight to Roche. Where's Undying? Because this actually, so this is the trade-off of doing Tormentor. You might not expect the OG lineup to be able to do Roche early, but Undying's actually really good at it. Tombstone and the ultimate are great, especially when you take Rotten Mitts. Now his ult's on cooldown, but an amplified Medusa will help make up the difference. Ice Blast scouts it out. It's dropping real fast, though.
Blood grenading Roshan just for any extra aid. That is crazy.
I don't think I've
never
ever seen that.
That is hilarious. I cannot believe someone just did that. They're like, 2 more damage. Throws a blood grenade. That's cracked. Well, they
When
got
Ice
it.
Blast hits, you're feeling the pressure.
Whisper's gonna look for Hector, but decides no. Doesn't want to make the dive. Doesn't really have the follow-up. This is the hero with the Aegis. A little bit scared.
They didn't have the vision for it, but actually that was a good fight. But no heroes were showing. The heroes that were split away weren't showing on the map, so he didn't know if it was the full roster right there on their own triangle. You know, like you're committing too hard for it. Good good Aegis steal from OG. It's not even fully a steal. Like, you actually would like to hit this timing with the Medusa, where you get the Manta Butterfly plus Aegis. Sometimes it's something else besides the Butterfly, but like that 2-item timing is usually quite strong for the Medusa. I thought it would be pretty difficult to do into a a Beastmaster and a Shadow Shaman. I actually think they should have taken Roche a bit sooner. I think too much respect given over to Global and Tombstone, the power of those abilities around the Roche pit. But you are still 8k behind, despite having this Roshan. So how much can you get done with this?
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire structures are fortified.
Ooh, just Serpent Ward drop top, huh? Okay. I mean, it's free money for the Medusa, but you are just chipping at the tier 3 tower, so maybe it's worth it. I'm not 100%, but they do get something there. Oh, there we go. We're back, baby.
Yeah, BKB
All
and
right.
RP available. It's always weird fighting into Aegis, but I do think Heroic is stronger still.
I mean, right now, it's funny because we've had so many action-packed games here in these qualifiers, and we're just sitting at 9-4 at 24 minutes because Heroic just has no intention of like being forced to fight, and this is a perfect scenario of you didn't pick any stuns like really on your team outside of just Ringmaster, and so they try to make a chase here onto this Beastmaster, and he's just, you know, bye. TP's home, he's fine.
Telling you, the advanced tactics of simply walking away can't be undervalued.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You can force the fight bottom. This is where OG's lineup is strong. You know, you just walk at objectives, you have to come to them. And I think that's why Heroic is being very careful about this. They're just trying to split the map, knowing, oh, you want to come punish our Shadow Shaman? Who's going to do it? You know, Medusa going to suddenly snipe this Shadow Shaman? Not really. You know, she'll defend the tower.
Uh-oh.
Whisper. Did you find him?
Oh, man. He was so close to finding the Undying. I thought he actually saw him, but just the tree barely blocking his vision. Otherwise, that was going to be a 2-hero RP into likely 2 kills. But here's the thing. Heroic, I thought that they would be the ones like trying to take fights. They're actually just playing this cat and mouse game. And now, well, they're going to try and make a play here. Double Force Staff will just get the side of Heroic out of this one. Like, the Shadow Shaman's just been sitting top, constantly dropping wards on their tower. And someone has to go back to defend these. And then someone has to go back and, like, you know, deal with other heroes on the map doing, you know, other lane pushing. This is a hilarious way that they've kind of addressed the game.
I mean, top tier 3 is, it's like a fifth of its health left. So if you let Shadow Shaman stay here, he will finish this. Whisper, very low. No BKB, but he does still have his RP.
That is going to be the Aegis. Okay, I need to look at some of the itemization here. Who has the 4 staffs? It just, okay, yeah, it's Pike on Terrorblade and 4 staff on Ancient Apparition. Okay, so that's what I thought. Oh, thank you. Yeah, those are, I was like, I keep seeing double 4 staff. I was like, I know there's 2, I just didn't know who had them. So that makes sense. Shadow Shaman. Looks like Moose is tired of his shenanigans, but he's gonna just ward trap him. Gets popped down here from the sniper, but they get the ward drop. That's what they wanted. They don't care about the Shaman. They care about these pesky Serpent wards.
I'm a little surprised he used his Serpent wards there, but maybe that's telling. His team's still not planning to fight at all. He's like, yeah, I'll just drop him. The Aegis is now down. I do think Heroic should look to fight. That's why I think he should have been saving those Serpent Wards. But your main contribution is Hex and Shackle a lot of the time. Though I like Serpent Wards as a way to deal with Tombstone. You will see this where you just ult when you... It sounds funny, right? He used Tombstone and you ult it. But like you just have your Serpent Wards take out the Tombstone and then none of your heroes have to worry about it. So... You won't have that for your next team fight. You might wait for it. It's only a minute away at this point, which might line up with the Roshan coming up. If it's a fast spawn, take a team fight right at that time. You still have almost a 10k gold lead for Heroic. So as long as you don't... I don't know. You have to like commit too far and have already used your BKB so then the global wrecks you. As long as you don't do that, should be fine. At worst, to just walk away. Again, the advanced tactic can't be stopped by the lineup of OG. Turn away from Medusa, turn away from Wheel, and walk. It's very powerful.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
There's a Whoa.
So, what?
There's a... Okay, Beastmaster went Manta, which wasn't too crazy at first. Like, okay, Universal Hero and you need a cheap Dispel for global. Don't really need the BKB as we've talked about, you know? So I was like, okay, sure. He now has a Diffusal. So he's gonna mana burn this Medusa. When he blinks on top, roars. Oh, there's our one-star Shadow Shaman caught.
I'm just laughing that this is how...
Oh?
This is the only thing OG can do right now is they have to deal with... Oh, he gets the gem back. Okay, nice. BKB TP out. More important than my support is my gem. Thank you. That's what we learned from Whisper here. He's like, I don't mind if the little Icicle Man dies, but my gem, I need that.
I mean, that's true. The Icicle Man was worth 800 gold. The gem is 900, so...
Value?
Factually correct. Though I also thought he was TP'd out. He canceled it at the last second. I guess he thought he wasn't going to make it, so wanted to try to get a little further away. Get the gem a little closer to Whisper, I suppose.
So, OG have made some actually pretty good recognitions in terms of the game right now. They're like, okay, if we don't start playing top, the Shadow Shaman's just going to take our racks, so we just have to start playing top. So they actually put some defensive wards, right, in that top side of the river. That has been used to scout the Shadow Shaman not once, but now twice, and then also gets them the kill there onto the Ancient Apparition. So that's all pretty big stuff, and slowing down kind of like Heroic's ability to take the high ground is a big deal.
Heroic didn't scout out the Roshan fast enough, though, so they actually had a window there. I think they could have sniped it with the Serpent Wards plus Aghanim's Beastmaster. Heroic ends up coming top to fight for the Tormentor, but now they're going to lose Aegis again. This feels weird to me.
Whose like shard is worth it? Because you're not... Oh, well... Apparently nobody's, because you're not even going to get the shard. So that hurts. They're going to bring in Whisper to try and finish the job. Like, they're like, guys, we got to get this. Like, oh no, not KJ, not again. KJ dies for the second time to Tormentor. Schofield will get the shard on the Shadow Shaman. I mean, I know where I stand on this, but Zach, curious, which would you prefer, an Aegis on Medusa or a Aghanim shard or the Shadow Shaman?
Considering the Shadow Shaman shard isn't even that good anymore, I gotta say I favor the Medusa Ags just Aegis a little bit more. It even has the banner now too, which is very strong with these type of ranged heroes who can just sit in the back and now the creeps can't die. That's a strange one to me, I gotta say. I think Heroic's draft is better. I think their early game was better, but their decision-making around the Aegis is making this game really hard for them. I still don't think they're even gonna lose strictly off of this, just because of how much I favor their draft and the ability to RP and skewer people around and have stuns, but it's much harder than it needs to be. I feel like it could be ending right now if they had gotten the first Aegis and then second Aegis. Like the top tower is already almost dead from Serpent Ward, so imagine actually having the first 2 Aegises. He's walking. What can we do about this?
Schofield isn't even playing Dota anymore. I don't know what this is. This guy has just been doing such hilarious shenanigans.
That's
They're gonna
classic
fort
Schofield.
with the counter fort here to try and protect the wave. This is the last tier 2, so that is actually their high ground fortification, and Heroic is smoking from behind, trying to grab a hero here. Now, I actually feel like there's no other option. I think you have to do this.
Terrorblade's ratting.
They get on top of the silencer, the shackles into a Blink skewer. They get both supports immediately, and Sniper solo killed by Analog. And like you said, there is a Terrorblade on the other side of the map. Their Ice Blast, it's gonna connect onto the Undying. That will hold him down long enough. Shackles, it's there. Global Silence. The buyback to protect it. You're still gonna lose this Undying. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, they get him with the RP. That will be a very nice kill, but you've got to get away from Hector. The Medusa, you have no answer for this hero. You do double buyback on the supports. It ends up being a 1-for-4 trade, but they could still go high ground because you don't have the Magnus, maybe?
It's risky. You don't know if Magnus has buyback, and if he buys back and skewers this Medusa in deep, you might just lose off of that.
Yeah.
I mean, look how this is just Terrorblade, right? And he's still getting a decent chunk of damage into Medusa. That's not even the full commitment. Which I actually think if he had used meta top or bottom, he could have cleared this. The creeps are about to do the job anyways. Sniper's got to go get to those 2 range creeps. They're focused gamers. Get them range creeps. Oh. 34 health on that range tower. He's coming.
Beastmaster is coming. He's like, I'll do it. I'll get it. Sends the Manta Illusions and a Borin, gets the ranged racks. So here's the thing that's really funny. We're like not even halfway through this game, I'm realizing. I know you were saying like it could have ended really quick, but which team can like legitimately go high ground with the other team being alive?
I mean, if the other team's not there, you go high ground pretty quickly, as we just saw. But you're right. In an actual 5-on-5 situation, both teams really need to respect the other team, which could drag this game out quite a while. But it seems like we're not getting that. You know, as much as we talked about in the draft, that was the first time I really saw OG group up like that. And Heroic dealt with it by not doing anything. You know, there's like, okay, 3 of us cut the waves and then fight from the back. 1 other guy split another lane, so let's not do the 5-on-5s. Let's drag it out. I actually thought, I thought Yuma wasn't even going to come back. I thought they were just going to leave him to Rax everything and just prevent any TPs home. But it's probably safer, you know, if they buy back and Terrorblade's there. That's a worse fight than just bringing him home. And you got the range barracks anyways.
I kind of... Oh, well, here we go again. A little bit of deja vu. As the Medusa just going to start chipping away at the high ground, but another deep wraparound from the side of Heroic. They know the Aegis expiring in 3 seconds. Finding the Medusa would be huge.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Let's see if they can do it. Yuma just going to walk in, get the reflection. They get the Hex. There's going to be a nice jump onto the silencer, but he's going to get bailed out there for the moment. The Roar once again. This one's going to send the Undying into no man's land, but he will survive the BKB. There's the RP here. Onto 2. Make it onto 3. Whisper is soloing the whole team. The Ice Blast comes out. They've caught him. Sniper's dead as well. Well, he's on 200 HP. He's gonna shatter. Finally, Yuma comes in, gets the Sunder. Okay. There we go. 37-minute refresher timing. That's what we were waiting for. Tip your Magnus. My God, Whisper.
Where's the other tip? Guys, do you realize Whisper just won the team fight on his own? Let's get some tips in there.
He just won the game on his own, dude. They have no buybacks.
He gets the double R. First he initiates. Okay, everyone, eyes on Matt. Forget this other stuff. Good save on the silencer to keep him alive, but this is why you finish up farming, right? Magnus is silenced, but just pops the BKB, gets the horn tossed into the RP, and then he's like, oh, Sniper's here. Pop the refresher, get the double RP or triple RP on the follow-up into the Ice Blast. Everyone dies. Medusa is strong, but when she is on her own and there's a farm Terrorblade, you can't win this on your own as the Medusa.
Yeah,
So that's the base.
That was, yeah, we come back. Your lanes of barracks are gone. Beastmaster, Terrorblade make pretty good work of those. Yeah,
The
oh my
mid-tier
gosh.
2 now as well.
Dire's courier has been killed.
You could maybe force this with the Medusa timing left, but I think you maybe play it safe, go for Roche once this game could be cool. I don't know, just throwing out ideas.
Well, there's a refresher coming out for Analog right now, a BKB on your Terrorblade. I think they're just going to go high ground. Wards come off cooldown. They drop them immediately. Blink, Horn toss, skewer into no man's land once again here for this Undying save for a second, but nowhere to go.
See, my Wheel of
Sniper will
Wonder
clean up the
was kind of
wards.
strong this game, though, catching everybody there. But it was all illusions, so...
He's going to do it again.
That's the one stun.
That's true. That's true. Whisper, 7 seconds to horn toss. Target spotted. K1 on the Medusa. Yoink into the high ground. Ice blast everything. Global signs to try and protect him. He does it. The Stone Gauge, the roar. They will get the escape back, but a second RP. There's another roar if Analog really wants it. Doesn't even need it. El Micho is getting ripped to shreds here. They do get a long shackle as well onto the Sniper. It is just free reign for Yuma here on this Terrorblade to do whatever he wants. GG comes out an absolute massacre as Heroic just turned this game over so fast.
I guess that's the time.
At least one Falcon Blade on each of these heroes. I want to believe that this item is back, but we'll see.
I think some of the value of it, mana aside, is the health you get early.
It's so much health.
I kind of think when you have an Oracle, you don't need to have that. You know, like, you're being saved anyways, so the exact amount of health you had in the early game is not as critical. I think when we saw Parker do it, they had multiple heroes to get close to the Lina in the early game, and I don't think he had a save on his team, so the extra Falcon Blades helped keep him alive to do the damage he needed to, and it did pay off in the end. Whether we'll see it again, I'd be interested. There is a Falcon Blade queued up because one is normal. It was just the two that was surprising to us.
I just feel like for 1,000 gold, it's still worth it. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. But it feels real good. All right. As we take a look at the facets here, we do get the massive Serpent Ward. Finally. I know some people have been picking this. He was hovering it for a while last game. For Schofield, ends up going back for the Chicken Fingers, but it will be the massive Serpent Ward this time.
They needed more stuns, but not too many stuns. Can't go too far.
Yeah, okay, guys, we got enough
Chungo
now.
Ward instead of the Chicken Fingers. Scouts out the Lina moving the lane. Just gonna poke a little. The Ward, the nice thing about this this Serpent Ward,
Battle begins.
it doesn't die right away because it has so much health. So whereas the regular Serpent Wards, 2 attacks and the damage output's already dropping, this one you need the 20 attacks, and in the meantime it's going to have full damage the entire time. Which,
Yeah.
I wonder if some of the idea is that Lina is a long-ranged hero, Oracle long-range, right? They can easily farm the Observer Wards. Nice shard block into the Ion Shell. They're going to farm the entire first creep wave. A little deep for this, so they took some damage, but should be okay. Weaver and Shadow Shaman, Weaver especially, very squishy carry, does not like having to tank an early creep wave. There she's still
I do
back
like
here.
the idea of that creep cut. It's kind of cool because you're not really gonna be able to stop this, right? Like Shadow Shaman, he does trade pretty efficiently, but well, Weaver gets level 2. Okay, I'm glad I said that you can't stop this. I look really smart right now.
I think
Hector
you
just gets level
can't-
2. That's a really smart idea from El Micho, just not to take any of the lane XP there.
I mean, I don't think you can stop it if you just back off and then send one hero to grab the creep wave and drag it around. But they kind of like stood there and fought, and that's what got Tusk so low, so that usually the carry wouldn't bother. But he's like, oh, he's got 100 health. Like, I guess I'll come kill him. Sure. I think that's kind of the strange part to me.
That's a
All
good
right,
point.
one more creep cut, or at least partly. It's an interesting lane up here for sure to get started.
Yeah.
If you just sit there, it will be annoying. 2 range heroes versus 2 melee heroes to get whittled down. So we usually do see some creep cutting, but this level of like both heroes camping behind the tower for so long is a little unorthodox. And we'll see if that first blood ends up making it not worth it. Whisper straight back to it. Schofield starting the space making duty early. Hoping to not die, but Shikuchi's a long cooldown. I think this is okay.
Dire's turret has been killed.
Boot's dead. Down here, got the Brewmaster who has early evasion. Ooh, snipes the Null Talisman. Might be in a bit of danger for that. Surge is up in 1.
Ooh, that's a nice shard block too.
Keeps him alive, but they're gonna lose the creep wave.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it still came through. Okay, never mind.
Whisper? He's
Into
out
Whisper.
of resources completely. 0 mana, 0 health. He'll get his regen now as he dies. Goes back to the fountain. So far, a pretty good start for the safe lane Weaver. Up to 13 and 0 last hits. Now has 2 kills to his name. As for the Kerilina,
I hate to break it to you, Ricky. I only see 1 Falcon Blade in that quick buy.
I do only see 1 Falcon. I think you are right that you do have Oracle, which is kind of nice. Maybe you don't feel like you need the extra HP early on, but
He's doing work down here. He's been getting a lot of good brambles off.
yeah.
Making a lot of space for the Brewmaster, who, I was going to say, usually Drunken Brawler gives you a bunch of evasion versus long-range right-clicks. And, I mean, that's still true versus Oracle and Lina. But these 2 heroes also have a lot of magic damage, which can whittle down the Brewmaster. So getting some extra help, some space from the Dark Willow, is giving him the time he needs to just farm up, get strong, and I imagine still go the Radiance like usual. You might get it stolen from the Darkseer wall, but
That is rough. Very nice kill there from Tai Lung. Does get the water rune, immediately pops it, survives, gets the kill onto the Beastmaster. Now it is a return kill, but
Dire's
we'll
turret
see if KJ can run down Moose here. With the Boar's help, he actually might be able to. He does have a Lotus, Fairy Fire. It's going to be very close. Another Bramble. Okay, they will try and turn it around now with Illich, but a nice little pathing through the trees. The snowball on over, but he gets another Shadow Realm off.
Radiant structure.
All right, Moo's able to keep himself alive for that one, and it will cost them Whisper into the top lane here once again.
Dire are
this top lane, I think the creep cutting idea was right, but I feel like they went over aggressive on it, and 3 deaths now in that top lane means that Hector is off to an exceptional start. Weaver, very level dependent carry. Usually carries are just like, I'm just gonna farm and not do much, but Weaver, as he picks up these early levels of Shikuchi, becomes far scarier than usual, so losing that many deaths to him, it's making his lane kind of end early, I feel like.
They're going to try and find an opening here. Does get the bugs out, but Schofield will trap Hector. That is a great rotation in from your Tusk. And a good bait from Whisper. This time Bramble does not manage to catch that Darkseer as Schofield trying to play aggressive here. Does have an Ion Shell on a creep that is chasing this Shadow Shaman, so he'll be forced to back away. And a good rotation from the Tusk here to the top side to finally get themselves a kill here.
I guess I cursed him there. For his high levels, you are still squishy if you commit too far, and uses the Shikuchi quite aggressively and then had nothing to get out. Even though it is a lower cooldown from 15 to 9, that's still 9 seconds. You don't have it.
Wow. Tylon got the rune again. He just zips right into 2 heroes, steals it, zips out. That's nuts. Amplified damage is going to be a big one for them. Oracle did know that this rune was spawning and where, which is why he comes to the mid lane, but Tylon still manages to secure it. So that's pretty huge.
If you rotate with it, you can't go to the Oracle, since Oracle can dispel the runes with Fortune's End, so I think you might actually look top for a kill, or just kill the Beastmaster when Oracle's not there. I think going to the bottom lane, I mean, it might still work. You can still get the kill even without the power rune, but just not going to get as much value out of it. May just end up using it to farm, even.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I was going to say, the thing with this type of rune is that Darkseer now can't push the top lane. He cannot, like, actually show even, like, halfway in the lane, because if he does, Storm can just TP in, zip, and kill him, right? So he actually is just... He immediately back to his own side of the jungle, started clearing it out, and he's just going to walk back to the fountain. So I like Storm just using this to farm. Like, everyone has to be afraid of a Storm Spirit with amplified damage right now. I guess if you go bottom, like, Oracle could just dispel it, so there is that. Ooh, bugs do not connect there.
Now that Weaver's level 6, it's going to be a lot harder to kill him, even if you do commit a bit too far. Not a ton of stuns up here.
Yeah.
Darkseer, by the way, is going for Helm of the... Ooh, rotation stop. Alright, Weaver's out of here, but you're going to get a quick El Misho kill.
Okay, so that Laguna
Worth a
felt
rotation.
slightly unnecessary. Okay, Tylon cannot keep getting away with this. He actually just goes in, steals an Arcane Rune in the middle of 2 heroes. They get a kill onto KJ, and now Analog is in trouble as well. The Brute Spirit, the Brew Spirit, wow, the Brewmaster comes in with the Primal Split, killing off. Okay, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Words are hard right now. There's a lot of
Abilities
weird...
were used, and now they're taking the tier 1 tower. Pretty good. The Lina and the Tusk were trying to rotate over, but K1, having a good start, just walks in. Can't kill them, but makes them waste time and then just ults out of there. So in the end, it's a quick Beastmaster kill, and would you believe it, in a Beastmaster versus Storm mid lane, Beastmaster's tower is the first to fall, and the enemy mid tower is actually still quite healthy. Yuma better clear up these stacks before they get stolen now that the jungle's opened up.
There's a lot of stacks down for the Yuma on the Lina as well, as she's going for the Maelstrom. Pretty much the standard carry Lina item.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'm not saying it's because they picked more stuns, but seeing way more activity out of OG, and it's looking a lot better than game 1 because they can in fact prevent the advanced tactic of turning around and walking away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it's not because they picked more stuns. I think that definitely has a lot to do with what's happening in this game. Whisper went Helm of the Dominator on the Darkseer. Did you see that?
Tusk found out here. Maybe a quick kill. Yeah, I was wondering, because Darkseer actually used to be one of the OG Helm of the Dominator builders, but that build dropped off, it got buffed. So he's brought it back. Unfortunately, his lane wasn't as good as he would like, because usually you want to get to this before the enemy carry is even level 6, and you threaten kills with the wall and double Ion Shell from just yourself and your creep, and you take a quick tower. K1's actually having a great time in this lane, so I don't know if you can really kick him out.
I was like, if K1 gets Centaur Stomp there, he might have died to a vacuum, so he needs to be careful. These Ion Shells are doing work. He's got the Centaur creep just cutting the wave. He's actually exceptionally high level despite having a rough lane. Bottom side though, Yuma in trouble. Doesn't have the Watcher. If he did, he would see these supports coming, and I think he will see them now. Walk. Tylung goes for the zip. After zip. After zip. Out of mana now. Does have his team close by, though, to help him out.
Gonna miss
They're
having the
disengaged
instant
there.
Hex from the last game.
Yeah, right?
Roar time takes a little too long to catch the Storm Spirit.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Weaver finishes Maelstrom top, so now he should be able to easily hold this on his own. Your early creep wave clear on Weaver's not that strong, but once you've got the Maelstrom, you're good to go. So I don't really think Whisper's going to be able to take that tower outside of a slip up from K1. Seems like he senses the Tusk rotation coming in. He's already backed off.
Dire's
Oh,
middle tower
Wisp.
is under attack.
Okay, he's going to TP, yeah. Okay, this...
And then time lapse
recovery...
back.
That would be hype. Instant death, but it'd be hype. Whisper's recovery on the Darkseer is actually kind of nuts. Like, look at his net worth. I mean, a lot of it was stacks that were made for him, but... had 2 early deaths in the lane and is now probably going to take top net worth spot here in just a short moment.
Is under attack.
Some classic Whisper things.
Yeah, it really is.
Very efficient with the Helm of the Dominator. Farming speed, the Ion Shell will eventually take that tier 1 top since Hector TP'd on out.
Dire's courier
What are we waiting for? Ags is 1,500 gold away for the Beastmaster.
The Giant Serpent Ward. It's killing Roshan, dude. That's huge.
But this is the strength, yeah.
Oh, they're taking with the Courier as well. All right.
Yeah, that's some
This
advanced
is some
strats.
cheese. Moose is like,
You
yeah,
use
whatever,
that
I don't
in the-
care.
You use that in the speed run for how fast you can kill Roshan.
Yeah, the level 1 Roche take, just toggle Couriers back and forth.
Yeah, the Serpent Ward also can do it. So to compare that to regular Serpent Wards, you would have lost about half your DPS from Serpent Wards in that time, which would extend Roche. But because the main Serpent Ward has so much health, it full DPS the entire time, even as it takes all the attacks. So helps you do Roche a little bit safer. Very early, 13 minutes. Like, let's be
Yeah.
aware of that. A 13-minute Aegis onto Storm. Are you going to get every tower off of this? No, because it's so early. But you get the gold going for your team. You steal it away from the Beastmaster. Doesn't even have his Aghanims yet. And your Storm
Yeah.
can make, you know, maybe an extra aggressive play or two thanks to having this Aegis confidence.
I was just thinking about, I was like, yeah, I mean, okay, it's not that unlikely to see teams take Roshan or group. I was like, then I looked at the clock. I was like, what the heck? We're 13 minutes in. That Serpent Ward just destroyed Roshan. That's crazy. All right,
used
new
to
tech. This hero's
You
even
do-
more strong than I thought it was.
You lose the chicken fingers for it, though, which is a
Yeah.
really strong tool. So it's kind of like a price you pay. And they
They got him.
just enough crowd control.
That's cool. The vacuum during the Centaur Stomp animation, very nice. He's like, I don't need the Centaur anymore. You did your job. I'll take my Wild Wing Ripper. Get himself a Hurricane.
Is that a reward? You get to retire,
It's like,
or I'm
congratulations.
done with you.
You may die
immediately
now.
disposed.
You may die now. That's the whisper, dude. KJ's getting
Finding
found
the
here.
Oracle.
Hex out into a quick kill. Yuma in the trees. I don't think they actually saw him, but now they will as the big old Serpent Ward gets dropped on his head. And, well, El Nisho, he can't die. He's got foul play. He doesn't mind. They will take the tier 2 tower with this Serpent Ward. This is some sick timings now coming in from the side of OG.
15-minute tier 2 tower, huh? Usually, we think of Shadow Shaman as one of the better tower pushing supports, but the ultimate scales to the towers. Like, how quickly a tier 1 tower, or a level 1 Serpent Ward can take a tier 1 tower, is how fast the level 2 ult can take a level 2 tower. So usually you don't see these fast tier 2s with Shadow Shaman, but the Chongo Ward does get extra damage, so
Please
they're
keep
willing...
calling it that.
It is. It's what it is. They're willing to dive with it, and it does more damage than usual. So you actually can threaten a tier 2 tower pretty quickly. Really cool use of this facet so far.
It is so much damage. It is 600 damage in auto attack. That's actually nuts.
It's like having
That's
two
like-
more Serpent Wards on the Shadow Shaman compared to what it usually is.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I mean,
I
if you
like
think about it, that is your entire team's damage combined into one unit.
That's a great way to put it.
They will find the Shadow Shaman, but saves by the foul play, and they turn it around for a kill there onto the Darkseer. Now looking for this Whisper. Does have the wall. Does he get saved? He does. And they're going to try and find themselves an opening. Tai Lung, he has that Aegis to play around. Analog with the Roar will use this on the Brewmaster. He does end up popping on the Darkseer. Analog's got to finish this kill as Tai Lung walks back through the Darkseer wall, and he will die. No, he doesn't. They don't even get the Aegis, and now KJ's on the run. Brambles is out. Tai Lung comes in to finish the job. Oh my goodness.
14
What a
galvanized stacks on this
disaster.
Storm already. That was the Radiance reveal from Illich, or at least the first fight he joined with it, and it paid off immensely in that fight. A very drawn-out fight, usually favoring Darkseer and Oracle-type heroes, you know, more saves and heals coming in. But their attention got really split this fight. You know, like Storm fell low, and then you roar the Primal, or sorry, the Brewmaster when the Primal split ends, and then he backs off, and Storm comes back in, and you're like, oh, maybe we finish the job on the Storm, right? The Radiance was doing the damage the whole time. Doesn't have to pick and choose targets at all.
Wow, that was nuts. That was insanely strong. And the fact that you don't lose the Aegis is just the icing on the cake, right? Like, he'll get a full set of regen here in about 10 seconds. He's going to be chilling. He's looking for a kill here. Does he have Snowball, actually? He could time this.
That would be
If
sick.
he gets the Snowball,
Dude.
Tai Lung could die the second Aegis
Better watch
expires.
yourself, Storm.
It's going to happen. No, he mistimes it. Oh, no.
That would have been amazing.
All right. That was so close. They caught Weaver. Wow. All right.
How do you
Nicely
take
done.
that? Weaver going for a Lincoln, so catching him in the future will be a lot harder, but looks like they get one more kill in before that happens. Though he will have to be careful of the LSA since that one is AoE, but part of what got him is the extra root on Fortune's End. In the future, it could be the Roar from the Beastmaster. So once that Lincoln's is done, a lot more safety going towards that Weaver. Dude, Serpent Wards are up. Let's go. Where are we dropping, boys?
Upside. Finding Illich would be pretty huge, but he has 2,100 HP. Can you burst him before he gets split off? I honestly don't think so.
No, not without... You need Beastmaster and Lena to have a shot. If it's only one of them, I don't think you'll get it outside of him messing up, which would be kind of strange. But I will say the Helm of the Overlord now finished, and he's using an Ancient Black Dragon. You actually don't have very good heroes to deal with this creep. So you can just kind of keep sending it to creep cut, and I'm not really sure there's a response. Like, Weaver's the best hero to do it, but is that what he wants to spend his time doing? Not really.
Oh. Okay.
Gets
Well,
booped here.
Whisper,
and actually just,
he definitely thought the whole team was there. He was trying to break like a smoke gank. He definitely thought this was like some smoke rotation from Heroic. Instantly pops the Primal Split. Unfortunately, it was just casually Whisper walking up there. So Primal Split will go down. As here's the thing, Tormentor's about to spawn. So I think that was maybe why he was so antsy. Like, they were thinking they're maybe making this rotation top, looking for a pick into Tormentor, but not quite the case.
I don't think you can go for it, though. Weaver bugs are really good at helping you do this easily. Needs
They're
to drop
smoked,
them early if they want to do that, though, but they're expecting the fight to still happen.
I feel like Beastmaster needs to join his team. They're going to be able to get an immediate grab here onto Yuma. He turns it around with the BKB, but he's just dying to this Serpent Ward. And now on the backside of the fight, Tai Lung has found Whisper, gets the vacuum wall on top of an Analog while he's joined them through that twin gate, and you need to be very careful of this Beastmaster. You do not have the Primal Split. They're on the run, the Surge onto Schofield. He gets on top of him, he's looking for that Walrus Punch, but he gets popped instead. Tai Lung gets the kill with the help of Illich, or rather the other way around. He's losing his mana. He sees the buyback from Schofield. He will zip TP home. So it's going to be a 4 for 2 and a buyback. A really good fight from Heroic. Man, that Serpent Ward, man. The big Chungus Ward. It just killed Lina.
Does a lot of damage. Yeah, Lina's got to be careful. Wasn't able to be saved by the Oracle there. And she didn't really have an escape, so she probably would have died anyhow. But the rest of the team does find a very good fight after Lina gets sacrificed, you know, for the cause. She ends up dying. Gets her team the Tormentor as an end result. Goes over to KJ on the Oracle. This is actually a really good shard. Reign of Destiny.
Yeah.
It just got nerfed a little bit. But it's still quite strong in these types of fights, which we're seeing are dragging on a little bit. There's a good amount of burst, especially from Lina and Beastmaster. But we got some tanky heroes, a lot of survivability, you know, primal splits coming out, zips in and out. So extra healing throughout that fight in what are already some pretty long fights will help keep your team topped up. Match some of this Radiance damage coming in.
The Lincolns is now done for the Weavers, so he's a lot more survivable. As the Power Rune spawns top. There it is. Okay, bottled Invis Rune. I was like, I know that it spawns top. Like, the Oracle is there. So,
Radiant's bottom tower
that's a good one. Shield Rune for Analog. They don't have a good way of dispelling this outside of the Brewmaster, but he does have a BKB as well. And a BKB now out for Whisper. This is a pretty big fight timing for these guys. You don't have the blink on your Tusk, but double BKB is kind of huge.
It's especially big because it may be 22 minutes. This is actually a second Roche coming up here.
That's
remember
true. Wow.
That Serpent Ward got used real early to take it at, what was it, 13, 14 minutes? So this is a lot of money going over to you. They scouted out immediately on respawn, but both teams are in the area, so I don't think you can just go for this right away. You're going to have to get a kill first. Vacuum Wall is very strong around the Roche pit. Especially if you get a copy of Brewmaster and you get the Radiance for yourself.
Zip it. They find themselves the Tusk. The Oracle in some trouble as well. He does get the Fate's Edict on himself, so absorbing a lot of damage. Pulled back here. He's going to have to pop the False Promise. In comes Yuma here on the Lina. They're trying to find nobody. Walrus punches a creep. Analog, though, on top of El Misho with a lot of work. There's going to be the roar to the backside. They get on top of the Weaver. Do they have the chain stun? They do not. And now Tai Lung gonna try and chase for more here. Whisper's falling low. The BKBs protect him. Illich, he's gonna recombine here in a second on the Brewmaster, and he is, well, surrounded by the side of Heroic. Whisper almost dies to the Radiance. That was very close, KJ. Oh, all right. A scrappy fight, but the double BKBs protect Heroic long enough.
Some of it is that they actually did find the Tusk and the Oracle to start. Both saves were close together and got terrorized, but because Storm had to zip in for that, they didn't actually have enough damage to finish the kill. So the snowball comes out, Oracle ults himself, and you've already committed so much to them that you don't really have enough for the other heroes. I mean, Darkseer gets low, but just not quite enough damage to finish the job there, while Heroic's core heroes were all ready to go since everything got used on the supports. Don't lose Roche for that, I will say. Heroic dropped low enough that they didn't feel like they could do Roche on.
What's the cooldown on Big Chungus right now? Because that will be the Roche ability.
He's got it in 15 seconds.
All right, it'll go to top side. So they're gonna wait. Roshan's gonna move to the Dire side here. Takes him 30 seconds to cross the river.
He's got to go faster, man. It takes him way too long to cross. They gotta buff it.
You really need some like cartoon music as he walks across the river. You know what would be a great thing for Halloween? They dress him up as a clown, give him a unicycle, and then every single time it's like the daytime switch, he just like starts riding a unicycle like a bear, you know, like classic, and it just makes
give him the sideshow secrets.
Yeah, he just
when people walk in range, he just weighted pies them.
He doesn't throw people, he throws pies like now.
Yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
Dude, all right. Valve, you heard it here. Please make it happen.
I do think Roche needs to be scarier when he walks across. I just think it's not strictly a game balance thing. I just think it'd be really cool. I think it'd be, and that's a big part of making games fun and exciting. Like, one guy just gets griefed in the mid lane. He forgot that Roche has a 2-second sprint between pits and gets flattened, you know?
Dude, that would be so funny where he just, like, make it 15 seconds so it like doubles his move speed as he's running across or something, you know?
I'm telling you, it's very necessary. It would lead to some really hype moments. I think they're trying to get the level 2 Serpent Ward before they attempt Roche again. They did a big jump from 600 ward damage to 1,020 per attack. So
that's
really like to get this.
Really good.
Yeah, you'd really like to get this level 2 ultimate 3/4 of the way there, but he's with his team, so it's not going very quickly.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Actually, I see level 11 on the Dark Willow as well. Bedlam also does a lot more damage if you can get the level 2 ult.
So Whisper, he went Orchid, now going back for a Blink and a Scythe. The Orchid is kind of sick.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Weaver, BKB, that's a big one.
So I worry, he has Lincolns and BKB, and his other items are Maelstrom Dragonlance. Like, I get why he did it, but I also worry he's not going to be doing enough damage.
Yeah,
at
a
least
lot
for
of
the
it's going
next-
to be on the Storm.
Yeah, he's got a Daedalus queued up, so that'll fix it, but you need to get to that point, and fight your happening.
Oh, that's a big commitment. They're going to try and burst down this hero. The Hex Lena didn't get the BKB, but they still finish the job. Tai Lung onto Cage on the backside. There's the false promise. And the BKBs, big Curse Crown stun onto 3. Yuma now has the BKB. That's a buyback from Illich. He wants to get that Primal split off. He needs to run. The other side of the fight, there is a whole different thing happening. The Orchid, though, the turnaround onto the Storm, he had no idea. Whispers caught him off guard. Now looking for Illich. This Brewmaster kill would be enormous. They're going to be able to just sit here, wait for that Brew split to end. It's Hector. He's coming to the backside, just 3 taps the Oracle. Now looking for Yuma. He still has a BKB of his own. Hold up, Yuma's going to die. What a wraparound from this Weaver.
All right, turns out when you get an amplified
amplified
damage on the way to
damage.
the fight, your damage issues are solved.
Yep.
So that was going pretty well for Heroic. We're seeing some of that damage issue where Storm jumps the Oracle, but then Oracle saves himself. And although there's no longer a save for like Lena, you don't have mana to get to Lena. So at that point, Heroic is winning the fight. Really got caught off guard by that amplified damage Weaver finally joining in with all of his abilities, and the BKB cleans up enough kills that now they're going to get the second rose that whole team has been posturing for the last 5 minutes. And Oracle's the one too on Heroic. In the middle of a fight, you're probably not checking what rune spawned, but maybe regretting that you didn't.
Yeah, that amplified damage actually did so much work. Now with an Aegis onto the Weaver for 4.5 minutes, we talked about, you know, maybe having a little bit of a damage issue. He's going to be able to go straight into his Daedalus now, and he has his 20 talent for the extra geminate attack damage, and then his 25 is still the extra geminate attack, right? That didn't change?
Yeah, unless he wants to go Shikuchi cooldown.
I don't think anyone takes Sakuchi cooldown on the carry, but maybe.
Are scanning.
He won't. I mean, it's kind of nice this game. You could like chase Surge infinitely, but you'd rather just kill the Surge target in
Yeah, you just
one attack.
hit them once and they die. Looking for Schofield. Snowball to buy him some space, but he's rolling right into the enemy team here. He's dead. Nice pick off there from the side of OG.
Gotta say, I really like the plays OG can make now that they can make plays. Really, really enjoying their shot calling this game. All starting with the early Serpent Ward plays. Since then, they've been making some cool moves.
Bottom tower is under attack.
coming through the Twin Gate, trying to catch someone down here. But Heroics read this. They've gotten out. It's still a pretty even game, even though OG won the last fight, got some of these Tormentors, or sorry, the Roshans. The core heroes on Heroic have been farming pretty well, so
Yeah.
Weaver getting close to that second spot, top nowhere spot, but second behind the Darkseer. Classic Whisper, super farmed as usual. The Orchid has been very impactful in these fights so far. It looks like he's going to go for a Shiva's next. The extra armor will be quite strong versus the Weaver, but also amplify a lot of the magic damage coming from Lina and Beastmaster. And something I didn't even talk about, we got Clairvoyant Curse on Oracle, so a little bit more purifying flames damage being amplified with that Shiva's.
I feel like there is, like, this is a much closer game than we saw last time. A lot more action as well. Like, there's not like a clear line being drawn for Heroic of like, yeah, we're stronger, we can go get kills. Whisper does get caught from the Yules there, the Dark Willow, but she has to back as the big mud golem like takes half of her health. Classic stuff. Some headset issues again, as Analog's just gonna restart, it seems. Not really sure what's going on there. But in terms of the scaling potential for both teams, this one's a lot harder to read than last game, right? Like, both teams have great team fight. They have good lockdown. They have great scaling cores. Even the supports scale well. This one's a toss-up to me, dude.
It would definitely be close. I think I favor OG going into the late game because Weaver is not the best wall target for Darkseer. And Weaver also having that invis. I know we joke about it in pub games, but even in pro matches, it's difficult to play around invis in the late game when a Weaver might just show up and, you know, we saw that like triple tap on the Oracle with the amplified damage. As you pick up that extra Geminate attack, you finish his Daedalus. You know, you get one lucky crit on Oracle who's looking somewhere else in the fight, doesn't get to react in time and just instantly dies. Just a small pick off like that is massive and could win you the game. Along with the fact that Dark Willow and Shadow Shaman are two of the best scaling supports in the game. They have so much room to grow, even as Shadow Shaman got changed a little bit so that the Ags isn't quite the same. Still think it's very strong. Like, Refresher, Chungo Ward, insane tower damage for the rat potential that Schofield showed in the last game. And Elmi Show is probably taking some notes. He's no stranger to Shadow Shaman. He knows how to do the same thing if the game gets to that point.
Dude, he's going BKB on the Shadow Shaman. He's like, all right, I'm gonna drop the big Chungus, and then I'm going to just shackle with BKB, and someone is gonna die to the 1500 right click damage or whatever that this ward does when it gets to level 3.
I mean, you could take out the Oracle. You know, you find Oracle, BKB yourself, Hex, Alt, Shackle. It's no longer Storm who has to commit so hard just to find the saves. You now have
there it
is. Not for a hero kill this time, but look at the tower damage. Okay, hold on, guys. Why are you for it?
Don't worry.
I'm trying to see the
I
tower
don't think they're
damage.
worried.
I'm trying to see the tower damage here. K1, stop attacking so it's more clear.
I mean, he got lasted on the tower. That's pretty good.
Can you imagine
Yeah,
not
it's a
getting the
lot.
last hit when you have 1,000 damage per attack?
Skill issue, I'm sure.
It's pretty good. It's cool. I like it. It's paying off so far this game. The BKB, though, will be really strong with the Aether Lens and the Blink to just find a target and remove it. It could be the Oracle, but really anyone you find, right, is going to be shackled for 4.2 seconds. I mean, that's uninterruptible. You're going to have to roar that target if you don't have one of the saves available. You're going to have to roar the Shadow Shaman, I mean, which that's not really what you want to be doing, you know? You need to get this Weaver and this Storm that are very mobile. The Brewmaster, you got to try to kill him before he gets away. So perhaps looking at that 4-minute or 4-item timing again. We might need refreshers out for Heroic to be able to hit every target they need to. Shard over for the the Beastmaster. Man, I'm struggling here. The Beast Brewmaster. Extra Hawks in these fights. I wouldn't say it's the strongest shard, but actually this game, it could be quite annoying for Weaver and Storm to just get constantly rooted if you don't have your BKB available.
I'm curious, like what Heroic can actually do if they go to the high ground. I know you have like, you know, back wall and stuff like that, but I think with next Aegis, which I know we're looking pretty far into the future, but if there is going to be like a straight up analog, nice Shadow Realm, but still taking a lot of damage. We'll have to BKB to dodge Terrorize. There's the Yules. So no. Tusk, does he get the kill? Nope, TP's out. Wow. That is insane play there from the Dark Willow, getting the Shadow Realm off. The thing that's weird about Shadow Realm is like, it looks weird because he gets roared first, but there is a fade time. So he definitely pressed Shadow Realm first, but there's a little bit of a fade time. They're gonna immediately go to the high ground. They know there's no roar or BKB on the Brewmaster, and now we'll drop. He's going to try and use the Weaver's illusion to take down the ward, but it's dying quickly. Lina will have to do the rest. Zip in. Tai Lung has an amplified damage, gets cut from the Orchid. They're trying to force his BKB. He will have to use it. But the ward takes the range lane of Rax. El Misho. Uh-oh. He's about to get betrayed by his own team's illusions.
In the end, though, I mean, you're still pretty happy. That was really the biggest thing that got committed there was the Serpent Ward, right? It wasn't that tough of a fight for high ground, and you now have the range barracks. So that lane will push in your favor. Maybe you'll rat it later with the Chungo Ward. But we see the value. You know, the Weaver illusion was hitting it, the Lina was hitting it, but it was still full damage up until that very last moment. Whereas the regular Serpent Wards would have already dropped down to like 2 Serpent Wards. At that point, you can just ignore them, right? They're not taking any buildings. So, more good uses of the ult. Now I think you just wait for the next Aegis. I mean, if you find a pick off, of course you take it, but you're in a pretty good spot if you're OG. I'm amazed that it's still an even game, though. I feel like OG has been driving a lot of the plays, but the farm efficiency going the way of Heroic, despite losing out on some of these trades. A lot of it Whisper. Insanely farmed.
Yeah, I will say the supporting cast on the side of OG is starting to become a serious problem. Well, we say that Moose is gonna find the Tusk. Very good stuff there. And this is where like the cat and mouse games of game 1, not as efficient because you actually have pick off and kill threat from the side of your supports. Like you have stuns and stuff on OG. Like last game, when he was doing these type of things, it took like a 5-hero rotation, and half the time he still walked away.
Chungo.
All right, Big Chungus is down. Gonna start getting to work here on the tower. They get the roar, but he got the time lapse off first. Yuma with a BKB tries to get Alvisho. He should be able to, but now he needs to be careful. Big commitment for now. Nice vacuum and a wall dropped. Tusk in some trouble. The tower still just dying to this ward. So they'll see if they can find any other kills here. It's both supports down. Whisper jumping on the backside. I think he just yoinked the gem, maybe? I'm not 100% sure. Okay, yeah, the gem dropped. He's still going to be able to grab it. Meanwhile, top lane, I think it just died to creeps. It did just die. Oh, Whisper has a... Okay. Whisper has a Helm of the Overlord split pushing. This team is just such a rat team, dude.
I mean, that's why their farm is still so good. Okay, so you steal the gem, you get 2 kills. That was a dieback on the Tusk, and you still lost your tier 3, which is getting scary because Weaver has now hit 25. The whole base is primed. If you lose one more fight, it's just over. You're going to lose everything to the Chungo Ward and the Weaver.
You do have Refresher soon for Whisper, which would catch them off guard. And then, of course, the analog Refresher Beastmaster is also scary. So we'll see if they can actually make it happen. But a 74% win probability for the Dire. I tend to agree. Because even with all of these other avenues we've been talking about for them being able to push the high ground, there is still a Brewmaster who can take the high ground. Now they're TPing bottom to catch the Weaver. Is he gonna get caught?
Stuck around too long there. He was... The idea is totally right. Roshan is going to spawn top at any moment. So he was trying to push bottom, force them back, but needed to get out a little sooner because his team doesn't have any defensive vision to see these type of moves coming in. Sticks around a bit too long. I think baited by the range bear. We see he's got one attack left, so I think he's really trying to get it before he gets out. But that means the first Roche, or second, third Roche, sorry, should go to Weaver, not Weaver, Heroic. Struggling here. Should go to Heroic, because this is a 60-second death timer still remaining on the Weaver. This
They're going to take bot racks. That ward is going to get dropped right on your high ground. You're going to need to get back.
Yeah, you got to get in there. Drop it already. Go, go, go. Chungo.
Ward getting to work, moves the Terrorize, sends them all out. They do pick up the
get in there.
Oh, Stormy gets the cheese. Okay, Refresher as well will end up going the way of Heroic, but you almost lose. Wait, yeah, he got the cheese, right? Okay,
he
this
got
ward.
Cheese. I thought he was going to get more, but...
Oh, God, it's going to be close.
Beggars can't be choosers.
He's going to save it. Okay. Okay, never mind. Whisper bought out a Scythe. He's going to go back for a Refresher afterward.
We're seeing what you can get done when you find the quick pickoff onto a hero like Weaver or Storm, and your team doesn't have as good of lockdown as before, so I like the idea of the Scythe for that. We'll see if they actually can find the pickoffs, though, because there are the Lincolns and the BKBs. It is tricky if OG is grouped up. Cheese on Storm, although maybe he could have stolen more. I mean, Cheese is like a second life for a Storm Spirit, so it's actually a pretty good steal, considering you're not supposed to get anything in those types of situations.
They are smoked up here in the bottom side. The Refresher now get tossed over to the Darkseer. Double Vac Wall, double Scythe. I mean, that's a pretty sick combo if they can actually find something with it. That death on K1 ends up being extremely costly. We'll see if they can hold out for this Aegis.
That was their first major mistake around Roche, and it was mostly the right idea too, which is why I hate to harp on it.
No,
I think
you're
OG's
right.
been playing really well around Roche, but just sometimes you stick around like half a second too long and it costs you.
Oh, they jump in, blink, into the Walrus Punch, this Roar as well. They don't even need anything else. What a great find. Storm Spirit dead for 81, does have a buyback available as the Brewmaster already looking to cut mid. And they're also looking to just drop a ward on bottom lane. How many times can they keep doing this?
I mean, as soon as you lose a hero, right, that should be your immediate gut instinct as a Weaver and a Shadow Shaman. So it's a great idea. That is the Scythe paying off for Whisper, getting you that Storm Spirit kill in the mid lane. And if you can either get barracks out of this or force a buyback, super worth it. But do you have enough time when Weaver and Shadow Shaman are already headed bottom? In a way, that melee barracks was so close to dying, and it's still less than half health. That, although I know you don't want to lose the melee barracks, I think if you get the mid barracks and you trade your bottom barracks for it, that's actually kind of fine, you know?
I kind of agree.
So if you just want to force this mid play and ignore it, I think that'd be okay. But the Dire has multiple fortifies available to them. They're going to have this, they're going to have one more fortify right now. I don't think you have to use it on the tier 2,
Yeah,
but you could use it on the tier 3 to buy you enough time to like rat bottom and then go back, or rat bottom, head top, rat that. And at that point, I don't think getting mid for 2 side lanes is worth it.
You're not going to get this mid tower, I don't think.
Like, oh, they don't. Sorry, they don't even have creeps.
They don't have a creep wave, and Brewmaster has already cut it. So you have a few seconds here to try and grab it with Yuma before the backdoor protection kicks in.
Yeah, I thought they had 1 creep wave with them that they could keep alive.
Okay,
he actually does get it.
Yuma does get it. He does a lot of damage. All right. Top lane, they're going to cut the next wave with the Brewmaster, or with the Beastmaster. But Chunga Ward's bottom, this is your melee barracks. Like, this is dead. They're going to try and find some kills here instead. They're looking for the Dark Willow. The Hex will be able to do so. And El Misho gets the melee barracks.
With his life.
He dies. Okay.
There's a window here. 40 seconds without 3 heroes? Yeah, I see the lines. Push, guys. God, we're not being ratted. Go.
Get the lanes
Push out the lanes. You really need to. You need to try to capitalize on this. You want to at least get the bottom tier 2, so that way if you do win a big fight later, you can get the whole base. You saw how much damage Yuma has. Look at this.
It's so funny watching this AoE surge. It's just this big croaker running down the lane, but it's like its walking animation like is so wonky when it surges, just like floats.
I never really noticed the
so
giant blood he's holding. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Croaker.
It's basically just a Tide Hunter. He has a Tide Hunter on his team now, dude.
I was interested in seeing more Helm of the Overlords to see the Croakers be taken over, because they seem strong with the Congregations of the Deep. Okay, it doesn't seem that strong when Weaver just kills it that quickly, but Weaver's an exception.
Instantly kills it.
Fortunately, Croakers are a dime a dozen now. They're all over the map. I can do one pretty quickly. Doesn't look like OG wants to defend this, so at least all the tier 2s are cleared up for Heroic. If you can win a big fight, potentially get multiple lanes. You still have a minute on Aegis. Do you want to force this here? They're actually choosing to get Tormentor instead. What shard is Tusk shard?
I don't hate the idea of getting the Tormentor again.
Shard.
I mean, Lina's isn't bad. It's just, you know, it's good on everyone. Like they have good, like they at least value enough shards left. There's the refresher for Whisper's Darkseer. He gives the shard over to the Lina, knowing that he no longer needs it. And Tormentor means the shard goes to Schofield. Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, it's not a bad shard by any means.
I wasn't sure about this Darkseer pick in the draft. And I don't feel like we've seen the usual Darkseer value, which is the aura in the wall.
Ooh, bottom lane.
To Illich, maybe?
He gets the split. He had an A on this. He's going to be able to keep himself alive, but Yuma trying to get to work to clean up these Brewlings. They're falling low and fast, and Illich has to recombine. He's trying to run away, but the refresher out from Yuma's going to give him the second life. They're looking to take down the Beastmaster, and they do. A long shackle from El Misho, but it's Tai Lung. Wait, what? Oh, it was the new Scepter. Gets out for the second, zips away. As a great Bramble Maze makes space. A 1-for-1 after all of this.
Okay, and then a complete retreat. I was wondering if they'd find anyone on the way out. 1-for-1, but you're maybe in position to force this because this was on Heroic's half of the map. And you could head up to that top lane off of the mid lane and the bottom lane pushed in and just...
Still has lots of kill potential.
Unless you kill
They're gonna look for the Weaver. The Hex is there, but they get on top of the Lina, preventing her from being able to do anything. There's the save from KJ. He's gonna turn around, try and finish off this Shadow Shaman, and they do. A Lotus Orb reflects the Dark Willow stud. She gets taken out, and Tai Lung, he's gonna TP to safety. With no mana left, he gets out. The Weaver gets out. But the burst damage from these heroic heroes, it's low cooldown stuns.
Stun's good, man. That's what we're learning from this series. When you can just chuck out abilities and you happen to catch someone, you just layer on every stun and finish the job. Or you try. You saw the Aeon Disc keep the Brewmaster alive earlier. So we might see more of those come out. Because once you live on a hero like Weaver or Storm, you are going to get out, right? You're going to zip away, you're going to time-lapse or Shikuchi out of there. But if they can layer the stuns, we're seeing that Heroic does have the damage. Which brings me back to my original point as we watch him take the tower with the banner. Darkseer is being played not in the usual Darkseer way of auras and big back walls. He's like playing this pick-off hero who has like insane farm. And it's working. The Orchid and the Hex have been so much value throughout this game.
Now is the most value Roche banner we've seen in a while. Double catapult wave, as well as the Lina just going to town on these towers. They take the mid lane. Melee barracks, they don't get the ranged, I don't think. So overall, pretty solid stuff there from Heroic, trying to get some building damage. They now pull ahead 9,000 gold. I think really the first actual gold lead for them the entire game. As we hit 47 minutes. Wow.
I think there's been some small gold leads, but
yeah,
the first more
big.
significant one. With that said, I mean, we're about to hit 50 minutes, so 8K, 10K is not that big of a deal at this point. It still matters very much about how the fights break out. But it might mean you have an item, you know, 30 seconds, a minute sooner than the opponents. And if it's as impactful as refreshers or hexes, that could win you the fight. And the bases are set up. You know, we've been saying it. The bases are open. So you complete the megas. You just go for the death push. Both teams have that option.
I mean,
Aegis is up.
Level 25 talents as well for the side of Heroic. Like all three cores have them. They're pretty big. Like Primal Roar cooldown. It's good. There's no way they make it in time. That ward is even bigger than I remember. Somehow. Thank you.
Can we get a little closer?
Yeah, I want to feel inside. Thank you.
Wait, can we POV? Can I be the ward? Can we face the way it's attacking next time? I want to take this tower. Oh, yeah.
This is what it feels like to have that much power wielded. Walrus punch, high ground, Weaver, he's alone!
Weaver?
Okay, the shortest Aegis we've seen, but Tylung's gonna go with the BKB, try to get on top of the Tusk. Whisper's got another set of spells here. Hector's gonna have the BKB time-lapse Village. Needs to be careful here. He's gonna get the Primal Split off. We saw it happen last time. These Primal, like, Brewlings die very quickly to the Lina. So, with that, we get a Hex out from Whisper. He finds moves here on the Dark Willow. He's going to be able to pop that Shadow Realm. Does have a Bramble Maze as well to play around. Vacuum back. LSA will connect. What a dodge, actually. But still ends up dying.
Okay. The first one was understandable. This time, way too much confidence on...
He was just alone. His team was not there.
Yeah, way too much confidence in being able to time-lapse or BKB and all that to get out, but... The real carry, the Chungo ward, was still on cooldown. So there's no reason to push at that point until that's up, and you can just drop it and rat the melee barracks, still have 3 minutes on Aegis. And there's 2 Lincolns on the team, right? So, like, you should...
Yeah.
If the Weaver's going in, the Storm should use it on him if he's in range. So just way too much aggression there. The Aegis confidence to carry Classic, but... That actually is such a saving grace for Heroic, because they were about to have to sit in the base for 5 minutes and deal with the pressure of their buildings being chipped down, and they had to do it for 2 seconds. And now it's kind of fine. I mean, you still have to respect the refresher and cheese, but...
So here's the thing. Weaver never has to go to the high ground, right? Like, what you do is you drop the Serpent Ward and the Brew Split, and you just send them at the barracks, and they have to kill the Brewlings before they 3-shot the barracks, and then you also have this ward that takes 20 attacks or something, so... You have an issue. We're going to see a fight break out here as Illich turns the corner, gets caught from Laguna, instantly saved from the Aeon, just putting on top of the Lina. She needs the BKB. Where's the help? The Oracling comes in just in time with that false promise, and now the damage being dealt, but he's also in a lot of trouble. The Hex, the pullback, the Storm Spirit gets the BKB off. He's going to survive. The Lina comes out with full HP, thanks to the Satanic. Pour out from the Beastmaster, trying to get Tylung. He does. He's dead. Heroic, though, running low on numbers. A buyback from 2 more. Hold on, OG. They're doing it. They take down the Darkseer as the Zip almost catches Yuma. He TPs to safety, but that is a really big fight for OG.
Buybacks got used on the side of OG, but the buybacks from Heroic are still in cooldown from the last time they had to use it, so this should give them the confidence to push mid is what I want to say, but where are they right now? Getting there. Okay, they're capping the outpost, pushing in the lanes. Brewmaster's dealing with mid. He's got boots of travels. He can rejoin the team. Feel like you should be hitting the buildings right now. Maybe a little scared from the previous times they got deleted early.
I don't think they actually have the damage to burst the Weaver like they did previously.
It was kind of close,
yeah,
actually.
They definitely don't. It is close, but they don't. You need like the Walrus Punch or like the Roar, right? Which is what we've been seeing. Like one more stun would be enough to kill the Weaver, but they still manage to hold the tower. Like they don't get the tower at all. There's no big ward. Your Brewmaster split was on cooldown. Maybe he uses it now. Yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna do. Send in the Brewlings, trying to buy some time here with these. He needs to get the Earth Brewling out of here, actually. Yeah. They jumped the Lina onto the other side of the fight. Of course, you still have the Oracle behind him to bail him out. Reign of Destiny doing some work. They do get the tier 3 tower. Lina has not moved. There she goes.
Able to control.
Or drop top side. Yeah, exactly. This is what you need. Oh, yeah. Where we go?
Please.
Hector with the BKB onto the melee barracks. Gets it. Stunned up, though, for the moment. Needs to be careful. The Hex into the stun, but he gets away. They didn't have detection. He's going to survive. Now the Dark Willow, not going to be as lucky. But this is what we're saying. This is how the high ground scene needs to be. It doesn't need to be full commitment. You've got so many tools.
I mean, yeah, they didn't quite finish the job this time, but it got the barracks down to half again. They opened up mid more, so there are only 2 racks left, and it's a ranged racks in the mid lane, so that one's easy to rat with the Chungo ward. Hopefully they give us more time next time so we can properly POV from its perspective. I appreciate that we tried, but Heroic, so rude, tried to defend their building, so we had to go watch that happen. This is where things are getting a little dicey. Multiple buybacks are now on cooldown. So it really depends who is found first in these pickoffs. The Storm is the big one for me. 5 minutes on his buyback.
Yeah. I mean, also, Whisper's buyback is a big one, too.
Where are we on refresher on Shadow Shaman? Imagine
Glitch.
2 Chungo wards.
He's trying to, okay, he does just get the ult immediately. Trades Laguna for the primal split. I think you're okay with that. Last game I thought was going to be the game that went forever. Apparently, I was mistaken, as we are 30 to 29, no gold advantage for either team, and it is 55 minutes into the game. That is absolutely wild.
Yeah, the next refresher shard goes to Shadow, because now Brewmaster held it last time, but he used his, or he bought his now. Storm has it right now, but I don't know, man. I feel memes aside, I genuinely feel these Serpent Wards are your safest way of just getting megas, and once you have megas, you're in a good spot. You know, just like give him the refresher and let him drop 2 wards on these buildings.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, we saw how quickly it nearly killed the top racks. You put a second one there, it's definitely dead. The amount of attention you have to dedicate to killing these Serpent Wards is a problem. You just finished up the Aghanim Scepter for the Roar out. Who do they find? It's going to be the Brewmaster. He gets the jump away from now. He's going to survive to get on top of Yuma, but there's going to be the false promise save. Tylon with a refresher, looking for Analog. He turns around, gets the Roar. They're trying to grab the Storm Spear. It's going to be close. A big crit comes through from the Lina. They get the kill. A 1-for-1 trade, but Analog on the run. Hector is doing a ton of damage. He gets the kill, and Lina forced to TP out. They get the... Okay, apparently Tusk is just fighting his own battle on the other side of the map here. Illich, he did Primal Split for this. Needs to be careful. Does have that fire panda running pretty far, but the Earth in some trouble. As there's the Hex immediately. He does have a refresher, but he's not going to get a chance to use it.
When Lina is finally free to just stand and attack with max stacks, I mean, it's so much. She was controlled up at the start of the fight, but that's why the Oracle pairing is so good in these situations. So you know you're going to live, you pop Satanic, you're confident you're going to come out full health rather than die. And even if you did die, like, the time you're alive is enough to get a kill. So this time, Storm is out, no buyback. The support's on Heroic, no buyback either. So it's kind of scary to push. A lot of the confidence Lina had is the Oracle behind her.
They lost mid-racks during the fight.
Oh, that one was a ranged barracks. He was probably going to fall at some point. But you're right, that is scary. I'm all for double Serpent Ward now. Like, just drop it top next time you get it.
40 seconds before the Storm Spirit is back up. Again, he doesn't have the buyback. But this game, still 75% in favor of OG. It just feels like they're so close to getting the win here as the 5th Roshan is going to respawn.
Go get it. Storm down 20 seconds. You have to get this.
You have to get this
one. OG has been a step ahead on all of these major objectives. You've got to get this one.
It dies quick, dude. Yuma does so much damage. And with the last Aegis, I believe, going the way of the Dire, there's going to be no Roar, so they will not know the timing on this. This will be everything hitting the deck. The Dark Willow last time got a really good Terrorize, but not this time. Analog picks up everything. They leave the Roche banner for now, a little bit afraid of what's to come. They'll back away.
They didn't have space.
Did they actually drop their gem?
Yeah, maybe it's a big brain play. The gem gives the vision to... Oh, never mind. He picked up the gem first. Well, now you can't see the Roche banner, actually.
What are those creeps doing there?
I think they were falling for your lead.
Yuma in trouble, gets caught. Oracle, he's not in time. He's dead for 90, has the buyback, but Whisper in some trouble as well. Has to bat that BKB and run. Snowball out from Schofield, BKB from him. That's the longest range Shackles, but it will not be able to find the kill.
Lina was not the one holding Aegis because she has her buyback.
Really good play call.
Can they force it out of her? You don't have Split, nor the Serpent Wards. BKBs got used. You might not actually be able to capitalize on this.
I mean, you have Refresher and Aeon Disc up. He could just walk onto the high ground, get the Refresher, or the Aeon Disc proc, and then Refresher into the Split. Like, he could do it.
Will he, though? I don't think he would finish the barracks, is the thing.
Yeah.
See him try.
Back. Weaver gets caught here. There's going to be the roar of the BKB. Surely he does it time, but he does. Yuma buybacks into the game. Deletes them, and now they've got to get more. They do. A nice root from the Oracle will find the Dark Willow, pulled back into an LSA. She will burn to Whisper. 2 dead as Heroic. It's a heavy buyback commitment. You need to try and get something out of this.
Both of them have buybacks. I mean, if you get the Weaver buyback, that's huge. So definitely gonna push here. And you still have the Aegis on the Beastmaster, since he's the one who originally helped. There is no BKB on Lina, but
that's a Divine Rapier.
He even has a Refresher Shard on the Oracle. 2 lives for the Lina, as long as you're not caught out.
Lina has Divine.
They're all in here.
This is all in. You are saying right now, you have AoE Surge. I don't need boots. I'm going straight for the throne. I want to end this game. They have 1 fortification left in the tower. It's dying very quickly here. There's your fortification. The Primal Split's coming through. Yuma needs a little bit of space. Lotus Orb, Yules, dispelled there from the Oracle. Patient hold. They do not want to have to buy back on the Weaver, but you might not get a choice. Cheese now dropped on Yuma as well. BKB up in 13 seconds, counting down. Tier 4, it's falling. Weaver has to buy back. He can't save it for the next game. Yuma gets caught from the Yules here once again on the backside. Fight thinking on top of the handle as the Walrus Punch finds some space. Yuma,
take out the leader
he's
right
gonna
now.
need some help. He doesn't survive. He's dead for 120 as the TP out from the rest of Heroic. What a call from OG to try and just find the back line, and they do it. But Beastmaster, he's going for the throne. Analog, he wants to try and get this game over with, but he won't be able to. The heroes from OG will surround him.
This is it. Hey, you kill Beastmaster, you now 8-click down the base. As soon as they saw the Divine Rapier on Lina, they knew what was going to happen. Almijo immediately starts wrapping around, knowing that Oracle is going to be sitting so far back to save the Lina. And as soon as he finds the Oracle, they buy back and jump the Lina. That's going to be the game-winning play. There's no way you hold this outside of walking too close to the fountain. There's no wall.
That's one of those moments where it's like, you need to be playing near your Oracle. I don't care what you, like, if you think you can end the game or not. Like, your Oracle is the only thing that has been keeping you alive in these fights. And Hector will secure the Mega Creeps. They have their tier 4 towers and 1 fortification. You're going to buy back here on the Oracle, but it is Whisper and the supports versus the entirety of OG and a Divine Rapier. There's the AoE Vortex. He does manage to get safe in the moment thanks to the Oracle, but Hector's keeping his attention here on the objective, which is the base, the buildings of Heroic, and with the BKB out of Refresher, he's going to look for more. A nice save here once again onto Whisper, but there's going to be the Primal Split as well. And they actually hold. It doesn't look like it. GG comes out, and that is it, baby. We're going to a game 3 after 62.
Reduction. So that's what you're applying with the Mistcoil, as well as any on-hit effects. So I'm wondering if we're going to see like any cool builds. What could you do?
I'm so glad you asked, because I played in a charity event recently, and someone had Abaddon, and we were all told to buy rapiers, and the Abaddon had 3 rapiers and was doing like 2,000 damage with a Mistcoil. So it's kind of cool. What you can do
3
with it.
rapier build on Yuma, you think?
Yeah, easily, definitely where he's going. Nah, it's just like one of those things that, like, there are a lot of different on-hit effects that you can apply with it. Oh, Ursa went Grudge Bearer. We like
this is the
never
one-
see this, but it could be good against the Doom, interestingly enough.
Yeah, the damage you take while enraged becomes bonus attack damage. I suppose they have a lot of uncontrollable damage that
Yeah.
they can't stop hitting you once you enrage.
I mean, he needs to play around, like, his enrage this game, like, pretty heavily. Like, he needs to be able to get the status resistance off before the Doom hits him. Otherwise, he's removed from the fight if they want to Doom him, or the Brewmaster, right? I do feel like early on, this Doom is going to be used to just shut down the Ursa. The second he hits level 6 in this lane, he's looking for the Ursa. But no real fights over the runes here. For those of you who are just joining us, it is a very good time. It is game 3 in the lower bracket finals here for the South American TI qualifiers. It is Heroic versus OG.LATAM. It has been a super hype series. And game 3 is definitely going to live up to the action.
I've been promised 3 Divine Rapiers on Abaddon. That's going to be real exciting.
Yeah, I just whispered him, so he'll let me know.
Hey, dude, just in case you didn't know, the build is Phase Boots, Divine Rapier, Divine Rapier, Divine Rapier. Just thought I'd let you know.
I mean, he could just have, like, an analog build a Divine and then, like, feed it and then immediately get it back. Yeah, so you can get 2 Divine Rapiers right away. That's the real tech.
Speaking of a little bit of feeding, the courier walked straight through the mid lane. Tai Lung trying to do like some weird creep aggro, but forgot about his courier. It got killed before it delivered his tangos, so
Unlucky.
that's where you have to be a little
really.
careful. If you take too much damage, you might just get zoned for a creep wave or 2.
Overall, lane's looking pretty decent on the CS.
Doom off to a little bit of a slow start, but that's not too crazy.
It's
Like you said, I think this matchup can go either way. The Ursa, some early aggression onto Moose.
If that attack from the ABBA came earlier, that cold feet might have procced. And then he dies. This lane is scary. Like, Abaddon and AA aren't really, again, threatened by this Brewmaster at all. So, he has to pop the Fairy Fire. Very close. Has a salve as well being delivered, so he'll be back into fighting shape here in a moment. But KJ has basically spent all of his resources. He has a salve, he has some mangoes coming out, but fighting for the Lotus is going to be very important.
Make sure not to get your salve canceled by some long-range dead shot, too.
Yeah.
Up here, Ursa last hitting very well. But the lane is by the Doom, and this is Doom, so he's got Devour. Things will settle out over time.
So one thing we talked about in the draft was that, like, the Brewmaster Batrider lane is just going to be, like, not great into the Abaddon. So they do, even though it's Moose playing the Muerta, they do lane swap it, right? So they do want the Batrider here in the safe lane with the Ursa, it does give him some playmaking potential as well, because if they try to go for, like, the cogs, you can push them out and give your Ursa some space. There's a lot of good things the Batrider can do in this lane.
I also wonder if some of it is that you do want Batrider to eventually get the farm priority to pick up an earlier blink. So you're still giving him to your position 4 player because you want him to play that way, but you just lane here first, swap it later.
I think that's exactly what it was my thought as well.
I wasn't listening to you, so it could have been what you said.
No, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I was just like, that was my idea, right, with why they put it on El Micho. Very much in sync right now.
Yeah, I was thinking that triple divine rapier build, just the same as you, Ricky.
He does have a Radiance queued up, an item very easily disassembled into a Divine Rapier. I just want to point that one out.
So true, so true. I mean, that makes a lot of sense for Amadon. I'm not surprised to see that, but I'm trying to think of, like, what else after that you could get. Could you bash with all the Malignant Mists, or is it still just limited to 1?
Yeah, you can. Oh, wait, with, like, AoE Mistcoil?
Yeah.
It has an internal cooldown, so it still procs the basher item. So you can only get 1 bash on the AoE.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, does it even have the... What's the AoE on now?
It's 25, I think.
Oh, okay, that's miles away. Never mind, you're not building for that.
Yeah, AoE Mistcoil is 25, I'm pretty sure.
That's what lines up with the triple Divine Rapier. I see. Okay, yeah. We need the 60-minute game again so we can get the 25 and all the Divine Rapiers. Okay.
This is really good stuff here from Tai Long. Moose is here as well. They're just zoning him off this creep wave in mid. He'll get level 5. Here comes KJ. He's like, body blocks? Trying to get the cold feet to proc. He does. You do have Swashbuckle. Whoa, very close, but that will be first blood into the hands of the Ancient Apparition, as the Pango will eventually dodge out the next Tidebringer. But guess what? Batrider's coming now, baby. Your nightmare never ends. Trying to Swashbuckle away once again.
Though.
Oh, and we're paused. This is honestly, this is good for Heroic.
It would have been a kill for Batrider if he'd had enough mana. I think you're right that it's now worked out. Pango did get zoned off a lot of CS, though, so he's missing a decent amount, but I think the Muerta kill salvaged it. If they manage to get Muerta out of there, I think this ends up being really good for OG.
The other thing, too, now that I'm looking at this, anytime you're leaving Doom in a 1v1 is usually good for Doom. So I'm fairly sure that Whisper is happy to be up here, just kind of chilling. And Analog, after all of that, actually has the regen advantage, continuing to put pressure on Tai Lung now, who is being pinged. But they do have 6 heroes in the mid lane, so each of these teams really want to prioritize this first power rune. He's going to X-TP home, so Tai Lung will be fine. Double Bracer gets given a Tango as well for Moose. And now Analog, I don't think he's getting the power rune here. I mean, maybe you win the 50-50 top side. He does. Bat Rider. Oh, he gets the deny. He was not close enough on Analog, and that's going to hurt so much because this is a big commitment. You brought all these heroes mid, and you just don't get the shield rune anyway. That means no mana. And now you're going to lose potentially both supports. No dead shot. Never mind. He's out.
At least Kunkka doesn't get the rune. But Kunkka gets a kill with his bow, which is kind of what you want one of the early runes for anyways. So a lot of action in the mid lane, which now is wrapped back around to working out for OG. Like you said, it gives a lot of space to Whisper, though, so he's rapidly getting close to 6. Once you have that,
top lane,
especially if you have an Abaddon
spooky.
rotation.
He's gonna get the TP. Does he hit the cog in time? He does. Oh man, Agent Schofield from downtown. Nicely done, dude. That is so hard to do because of the navigating the trees as well to get that angle.
Yeah, you can easily
make
mess
it work.
that up. Very nice. Well, that's now. So not only is that a good kill, but Ursa was kind of matching Doom's XP, and if you have Enrage, you're willing to stay in the lane. Goodbye, El Misho. But now Doom will definitely hit 6 first. That's a better kill, actually.
Yeah,
Abaddon not yet 6.
Primal split out of the bottom lane. Yeah, not quite level 6. That you just put that to good use. I mean, to be fair, you did lose your Ursa at the same time, and you do have Doom level 6 now, and it's not been used. So this is now an impossible lane to contest. Nobody can come up here. So Whisper gets to do whatever he wants. He can TP bottom, kill another hero, or he just stays here and farms. We'll see Tai Lung get caught here on a rotation. They do get the X and the boat, but there is going to be the Rolling Thunder. Gets veered away for now. Silenced as well. He can't get this spell off. There he will finally use it as Tai Lung protected by the boat rum. Trying to keep him inside the
knocked
rose
out of the pit here.
Yeah, he actually cancels the roll to make sure he does not accidentally bonk him out. So Analog will get the kill.
Radiant's bottom tower.
A very deep, very heavy rotation. They bring 4 heroes, but they get the kill top side. Whisper, he might just do, yeah, he will. Hector with an invis. He's gonna TP out. I think Bat Rider might just die thanks to the self damage as well.
It's pretty close.
Yes, it is. Oh my god, literally last tick. All right, yeah, Stoked really backfiring there on the Bat Rider.
Dire's middle tower is under
132 self damage.
I like how even that final bar is, though. That's really nice. Yeah, you can't. One hero cannot go top versus Doom, but if you rotate enough heroes, you can. And although you eventually get the Bat Rider kill, it does force Doom out of the lane. He had to TP home, use the ultimate not on the carry, so now Ursa gets to sit up here and farm. So I don't think OG will feel too bad about losing the Bat Rider like that. And in fact, they're smoking back up here.
Schofield's just going to try and absorb the XP. They're looking for the jungle
stacks,
farm here. Yeah, no Rolling Thunder for 10. Gets some shield crash here for some extra barrier as Schofield's going to run through like, okay, wait a minute. Maybe we don't want to contest this. There's a lot going on here. Maybe they don't have the Rolling Thunder cooldown. So that's a really scary one if Analog gets a Rolling Thunder off.
Try to at least place a deep ward, but it's instantly removed by KJ. Overall, these early rotations, El Misho is suffering for it. Hasn't really... You helped kick the Doom out, but that wasn't actually a kill. That play doesn't work. You're level 4 at 10 minutes. We were talking about wanting the fast blink lasso.
They're bringing heroes top, but he's so fast, man. Oh, what a flame break. Catches him, brings him back in. He's going to do what damage he can here, but there's the jump in with the Ursa, and I think Whisper not making it out. Here comes the Abaddon, though, trying to just finish the job here onto El Misho. It's low, but it's not enough. Tai Lung able to survive as well, and Yuma, well, forced to ult without getting anything out of it. Still 4 heroes here on the top side of the map for OG, but without a level 6 on this Ancient Apparition either, it's a little rough.
Yeah, it was a good flame break. Fast plays from OG, which has been something they've been good about as soon as they pick some playmakers. It's been the way they've moved in games 2 and 3. I'm really appreciating the speed of which they make these decisions, and it's paying off so far. With that said, it's similar to last game where Heroic still maintaining farm as Whisper. Maybe gonna get double kill here on his own.
Oh, Illich gets the primal split off. Now, I don't think he kills the Doom. Whisper is far too tanky. So he at least gets a kill onto the support and does get the split off. And with the Clockwork trying to look to cut him off, he might need to be a little bit careful here. Flares out, sees Illich. Whisper is a fast boy. You know, you are pretty quick on the Clockwork, but he's gonna block the path almost. Great dead shot. Illich will survive.
Dude, he got griefed on that. Did you see the cog like
Yeah. stop
stop perfectly in the path and then drop to the low ground? That's actually, with that cog there, obviously you kill Brewmaster. He got scammed there.
Dire's middle
That was
tower
definitely a
is under
Skamaz cog, I agree. Ice Blast thrown to try and find the Brewmaster as well. Doesn't connect. So Illich surviving there is a pretty big deal. As of right now, we're very even for both teams. No one's really struggling. It's just the Kunkka that we've come to expect as the big winner in most lane stages.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Do you think, hold that thought, Yuma looking in some danger here? Usually you can just ult TP home, but with
He's
Kunkka here as
100%.
well, not really an option.
Yeah. No one even considers coming up to help him. They're like, yeah, he dead.
Get
Bottom
Village.
lane, though. Cog after Cog. Illich. Okay, Schofield. Very nicely done with the amplified damage there from the Ancient Apparition. Makes it look easy.
is under attack.
There's
Try
a
to
lot of
find
stacks here, actually.
A little bit more if you can. This game, the supports were really under-leveled because of how much they'd been moving around. But off those kills, your supports are now 6 on Heroic. So if you can find something here,
Dire's bottom
you want to capitalize on this window where the enemy supports are still level 5.
They should look for these stacks, I think, right? You have amplified damage, Doom coming off cooldown.
Dire
I'm surprised they're,
They're
not.
gonna go
They
through the
even
twin
scouted
gate.
it out.
Yeah. Maybe they're thinking the Ursa might be top. They're either going for looking for a kill onto the Ursa, but they're just going to settle for the tier 1 tower, I guess. And it's not
Ursa,
the
I think-
best feeling.
Ursa just finishes Battle Fury, so
Yeah.
he came to the triangle.
It's a fast Battle Fury. Yeah, that hurts. The stacks in the jungle could have been easily cleaned up from the amplify damage. Like you said, level 6 on both your supports. Meanwhile, the enemy supports were still level 5. You do manage to get the hook shot here. Push back. They take down El Misho.
under attack.
So you get something out of the smoke. So not completely wasted, and it does secure the tier 1 tower in the top.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack. Are scared.
Top of network.
Whose Radiance comes first?
I think it'll be
Is under
Abaddon's.
attack. Dire's
But you do have Split available. If you get a kill with Split, I think you win the race.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He's actually backing off. Because he wants to go jungle to finish it. Oh, I guess no one's showing on the wave, so everyone's scared.
Yeah.
You're worried about this Doom, who it got nerfed, but you can still sell your items around. So he could have sold items, get a blink, and then catch you while you're pushing the tower. So it's a bit scary. They're gonna leave Moose to push the tower in to try to finish it up on his own. If you get blink doomed, you're just a support, so who cares? No one's actually here though, so this is a free tower.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Despite having a slower game, El Misho halfway to the Blink Dagger, which, considering he's played like a position 5 Bat Rider, that's actually not too bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You take that.
Dire's middle tower is under
Stoked
attack.
is great when you have, you know, tranquil boots and they're not broken, right? You just run around and you're like, hee hee, I take 0 damage and I'm really fast now.
Yeah, Stoked, it's tricky in the lane, but after that, it's been a pretty good facet for at least support that rider.
Yeah. They have gotten so unlucky on Heroic. Each rune spawn has been like opposite of them outside of that first shield rune, which they really should have gotten, but they're actually afraid to check the top rune because they don't know where they are, so they kind of just leave it there. So there's a regen sitting, waiting for someone to grab it.
Counting dead shot from Muerta. Make sure Ursa heads in the opposite direction. He does have his blink.
Similar smoke
He's hitting
again.
some nice timings.
Through the twin gate to top. Now, it's going to be difficult if they actually see this or not. Yuma
Dire are
does get some
scanning.
eyes on the Bat Rider. They have a ward there, scouting the Kunkka, farming. Kunkka is the big one. If they can get the Doom onto him, that'd be fantastic. But El Misho likely just gonna burn down to the Doom. Does get, I mean, he can see so dang fast. The Bash, Roshan, Roshan, no! Oh my gosh. El Misho beat to death.
Dire's top tower is
Just get something out of that. But that is a
Not in
smoke
his
that
house.
is just getting the position 5 killed, and not even your kill. Roshan's kill.
It's so funny. Stoked has killed him. Firefly's killed him twice. That time because it aggro's Roshan, and previously just the self damage. Ursa on the bottom lane, forced to pop the enrage. He is completely isolated, playing the worst game of ping pong of his life.
Tell you what, if he had lived, 45 extra damage there from Grudge Bearer.
That would have been
But,
good.
yeah, really nice timing on the power cogs, essentially changed on the Ursa with the bouncing in between. That's finally a successful play from Heroic. I feel like they've been looking for this Ursa for
Yeah.
the last few minutes and just have not been able to successfully grab him, but
I mean, they still have Doom. This is the thing. Like, they've been finding these kills without even, like, massive commitments. That was just Rolling Thunder Cogs. You still have Doom and Ice Blast. So there's a lot of things that they can do to try and continue finding pickoffs. But I also just really like the build Whisper's going for. He's got the drums, the BKB going straight for the SNY. This is the fighting Doom build. Eventually, he's going to find an Alpha Wolf. That's what he wants. El Misho getting chased down here by the Radiance here of Yuma, but Flair's going to connect, reveal him. There's the hook shot on through as well. And Schofield will help secure another. This is just, Schofield Clockwork is always one of the best things ever. He's so good at this hero.
we'll say Bat Rider bought his blink right before he died. So as he respawns, maybe you can get a surprise kill. You think you just stopped him from farming up his blink, but he's got it already.
Tormentor in 40 seconds. Obviously, the Dire team has Ursa and Bat Rider, so they're pretty dang good at doing it. But if you can't take over this top side of the map here, this will be free for Heroic. They do have a good ward placed, like in anticipation of what will be the Tormentor fight, and they're going to smoke up right now, knowing that if they get a good pick off, this is everything that they need to try and secure it. You will see. Pango's going to come through the twin gate, so they will have... Oh, Pango's not coming through the twin gate. That could be painful. Smoke pops. It actually sees Moose. They know exactly where they are. Skillful's going to lock in, try and break them. Gets the cogs down. Whisper's looking for the Doom target. He wants the Ursa or the Brewmaster. He gets the split with the lasso. It finds the Doom. He doesn't get the BKB. He's dead. Ice Blast going to connect here onto K1 as Schofield stuck inside of all of these Brewlings. Yuma will run in. There's going to be the Rolling Thunder now coming through, trying to find some targets here, but Illich gets the job done here. They get another kill as the Ancient Apparition goes down. Ursa just cleaving through this fight. It's a disaster here for the side of Heroic, just bleeding one after the next. They will try to TP out, but Illich gets the kill. No evasions procs for you. They held the Doom for so long, looking for the most ideal target, and it just completely backfires.
I didn't think the surprise Batrider blink would pay off that much, but it works there. Doom did not notice that Batrider had it, so he is looking for the Doom target, but he skipped the blink himself. This build allows him to fight and to run in, but it does make it difficult to land a quick Doom, which I'm a little surprised we don't see the blink, because you want to try to catch heroes like the Brewmaster or the Ursa before the big ults come out. And that cost them heavily there. Surprised on the Tormentor fight, losing that fight and the Tormentor. At least the shard goes to Muerta, which is one of the worst shards for the support. Saving grace for sure. Heroic.
Wow, that was such a good play from OG. And that's surprising because Heroic, they got the smoke break and the vision from the ward to have a pretty good idea of where they were. But good positioning from the Brewmaster. He just was so far away from the Doom, and he really greeted out for that kill. On bottom lane, Analog, he's dead. Ursa has more than enough damage to find the kill. Ice Blast will come through. Now, do they have the damage? No, Hector's just going to BKB and turn away. Yuma, however,
he's available.
Hook shot, hold up. Schofield,
follow up though?
He has a Yules. Yuma's gonna make it in time. I think they can chase him down. The Radiance will be enough damage. He gets him. That's a great kill. All right, the supports here on Heroic doing a lot of work, but now Yuma's in deep. Where's your Doom? He just respawns in the base. Yuma needs help. He's not gonna really get it, is he? Cyclone just completely locking him out. And with the Ancient Apparition, a BKB now being committed as well from Tai Lung as they look for Schofield. El Micho should be able to run him down with ease. They lose the Ancient Apparition. It ends up being a 4-for-1. OG are fighting exceptionally.
So Doom was there earlier, but actually BKB TP'd out. Maybe a little bit preemptive. And yeah, you get the Ursa kill, but you lose 4. And Doom is still available. This kind of goes back to, it's really hard for him to find a Doom target with the build he has. And I think they thought they would be okay depending on the hook shot and the roll, but it's clearly been very difficult for them to approach fights. I just feel like their strongest hero is Doom, and he hasn't been able to do much.
Hook shot in, they find the Brewmaster. Yeah, he's gonna need to split, but no cooldown for 15 seconds, so they didn't get him the first time, but they will get him this time.
Okay. That was a little scary, that they almost got him away by knocking him on the high ground.
Yeah. So right now, Whisper could buy out his Sanj and Yasha. Okay, I was like, I feel like you either do that or you buy Blink, and he buys the Blink. He is tired of not finding his Doom target.
Be the perfect time if you head to Roche right now. His blink reveal would be amazing.
Ice Blast is coming. That's gonna do some work.
Get in there,
careful. Doom's gonna blink in. He just immediately finds one. He's gonna Doom the other. Tai Lung's dead. Ursa will certainly die to that Doom. Now the question is, can he find him again? El Micho battling out here with KJ. Oh, Swashbuckle off the mark, but apparently unnecessary as well. Hector gets the blink out. The chase for more. He should, I feel like he should be fine. He is. He will survive. Whoa, dude, there's no way. Okay, hook shot just off the mark. Great dodge there. Good movement from the Ursa.
All right, making it at the last moment possible. As soon as you buy the blink on to Doom, he immediately is able to join the fight. Put to use his massive net worth. Yeah, jumps in at the last second thanks to the Ice Blast scouting. So he dooms K1. You don't kill him because he had the Aegis, but you remove the Aegis right away, which is good. And they wrap up a lot of other kills in the Kunkka, the Batrider, Brewmaster dead from earlier. Speaking of... Okay,
this time they do get the Bruce put off. Analog kind of stuck inside the cogs for a moment, but doing a lot of damage to these Brewlings. In comes the Ursa. As Schofield survives for quite some time. Tidal Wave does not connect. On the other side of the fight, Elvisho gets the last one here onto Landlog, gets dispelled by Yuma. The boat's gonna get some work. The Ice Blast is gonna come through, connects onto Illich. There's gonna be the Pierce the Veil out from the Muerta, trying to do what damage he can as Hector pops the BKB. Whisper in return will do the same as Kyla tries to run away. Ult in from the Abaddon, and the chase for the Ursa begins. The damage, it's gonna start stacking up. It's gonna start burning him down, and he cannot stand his ground any longer. They turn around onto the Kunkka now with the Blade Mail. He's stuck inside the cogs, tries to get these cleaves, but he will not be able to take down the Abaddon. And well, they're still chasing for the Muerta. She gets the TP, just barely.
Oh, it's close. He was going for the Hurricane into the Inferno Blade. That would have been sick. All right, in a longer fight, this is where the Radiance from the Abaddon and just the Scorched Earth from Doom finally start paying off when you're able to get close and just stick to the targets. And the initial jump onto the Pango, if you kill Pango faster, yeah, it might work out, but enough saves get to him. This is where the value of the Abaddon comes in. That very first response pick to the Bat Rider, being able to save teammates from Lasso is very good.
Yeah, very good stuff. Now dead even here as we get to the 27-minute mark. So 19 to 15. Neutral item, tier 3 coming. Illich in the bottom lane, no roll or no ultimate for 20. And I don't know how many times we're gonna see this combo, but it is so good.
I mean,
And you still have hookshot, so.
The Pango Ags took a while to come online because they weren't finding very many successful plays to start. But now that it's here, it is so strong, and he's buying a Blink Dagger of his own. So they struggled earlier getting the heroes to the fight. Now everyone has the mobility they need. They have the tools online. They're going to kill Elmisho one more time just for the heck of it.
Yeah, Whisper with the SNY now completed is very fast when he casts his Scorched Earth, so not an easy hero to get away from. Lots of damage over time. And he still is holding on to the Hurricane for repositioning, which I actually kind of like. Being able to move himself away from the Ursa or pull an ally or an enemy closer to him. We'll see.
Abaddon also has Blink, so big investment in being able to jump the targets quickly. I like it. You gotta make it pay off though, right? You don't wanna just sit on blinks for nothing. So they're smoked up, looking for a target, heading bottom.
It's also really good for his ult, right? Because if he is in a bad position and they initiate on him, he does just get the ult and the ability to blink away. You can Cyclone it off for a little bit with the Brewmaster, but if that's already been committed, you can just go ahead and blink to safety. They're gonna run right into the Muerta. The scan just connects. They're walking right. Okay, maybe this actually could be good for Heroic. They do see moves behind them, and they're like, oh, do we go back for this guy? Or like, what are we doing here? Yuma over blinks, but Muerta is definitely going to be trapped here, not going anywhere. That's a little unfair, I would have to say.
Hurricane back into a cog bounce to knock her even further back is really funny. Quick TP's top, so you show yourself in the enemy triangle, immediately looking for a target top. I think they are going to show in this top ward.
You see the clockwork. Elvisho's going for the hook, or the lasso rather, and Analog's coming in here with the Rolling Thunder. Gonna try and grab maybe the Ursa, but he will BKB TV, and with this, the Hurricane back, the roll up to wait, and they get themselves a trade 1-for-1. And that's forcing the BKB out of the Ursa, and they know this Tormentor is spawning soon as well. Maybe they just go back through the Twin Gate here once again. We've been seeing them constantly making these rotations.
These were the observers that OG has been placing in this top area by the Tormentor has really paid off. And finally, KJ, he's like, how do they keep seeing these happening? He puts a really deep sentry to check for this. Finally takes it out.
Ursa coming bottom for Whisper. He gets the BKB, but there's a bash dispelled by Yuma. You gotta be careful. There's the Doom. Ursa doesn't have a BKB. He could try and chase this Ice Blast. Oh, it's gonna fall up short. It doesn't connect. Does manage to hit Moose here on the Muerta, but with the Kunkka coming back in, they do just chew right through the Abaddon. KJ will be dead as well. Analog, no Rolling Thunder, forced to blink to safety. Oh, they saw him. They got a glimpse of him for a second, and now he is dead. He has a roll-up. We'll be able to pop it. Rolling Thunder in 5, Blink in 1, not gonna get it. Really well played here from OG. They get themselves a series of kills, and this will be another Tormentor going their way if they want.
The dead shot that gave them vision of that?
Yeah, dead shot.
That was wider than I realized. Heroic needed to be a little bit more careful. They were the ones trying to make the play, and I think that's why they had the confidence, even as they realized, like, oh, this was scouted by an observer. But that actually should then... You should be careful of, oh, maybe OG's going to try to capitalize on this and jump us, and that's exactly what happens. OG had the numbers ready to go, and so even as the rest of Heroic shows up, it's just a little bit too late. They've lost too many heroes, and now you're going to lose that Tormentor. Moo's almost dying to the Tormentor. Who that goes for? Oh, self-secured for the Ursa.
That's good this game. I mean, the Doom, it came out while the Ursa was in Rage, so he got so much value out of it. Out of that in Rage, like, Doom only lasted like a few seconds, really, and he just comes right back into fighting shape. They definitely seem like they were on different pages. Like, Yuma wanted to go in on the Abaddon. Whisper's like, no, I'm out, dude. I threw Doom. Maybe he saw that it hit the Enraged and knew that they just didn't have kill threat onto him, but kind of surprised. If the Ice Blast hits there, totally different.
That's true. They could have maybe chased further with that Ice Blast connection. But that's part of the struggle. Like, if you're starting the plays, it's much easier to land up the Ice Blast. When the enemies start the plays and you just have to react to it, that's where Ice Blast gets a little tricky, and it isn't like that.
Smoked up, looking for Ancient Apparition here. That would be a great find. There's going to be the lasso. Analog with the Rolling Thunder goes in immediately, but you have lost one. Analog needs to be careful. They're going to try and just grab themselves the kill on the Batrider. A decent trade for now is the BKB out from Hector, being kind of wasted. As Schofield also has a hook shot, but gets caught from the Abyssal. So that is BKB and Rage down. You don't have Ice Blast, but you do have Doom. Could you make a play for Roche? It doesn't look like they're interested. They will back away, give this one up.
Take more damage from Roche than I thought, though, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have tried. Yeah, without the Ice Blast, that's kind of the perfect target to find. Everyone else is fairly tanky and might live through being jumped, but Ancient Apparition is so squishy that they immediately kill him, and without the Ice Blast helping you out in these team fights, doesn't feel like you have enough damage. Quick rotations top. Gonna find Whisper.
He could just Doom Ursa. Oh, no. I was like, he could just Doom Ursa and take the Aegis, but decides not to.
They dropped Roshan. What is that? Did someone drop Roshan's banner in front of Doom as like, hey, what if you walked back for this? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, it's just still on the ground there, isn't it?
Maybe a miscommunication, passing it between players.
It's just
and
sitting on the ground.
Yeah, Clockwork's about to find us.
He's like,
Schofield,
guys,
free
look,
banner.
there's a Roche banner here. What?
Let's see if that matters. Roshan's banner.
They're gonna find Tai Lung.
Is
There's a
pretty
huge
strong.
Kill. Jump in, blank. Doom gets committed. Now he's got the BKB, but there is gonna be a hook shot. Surely, yeah, there it is. Does connect, stuns him up just a little bit longer. He will end up dying 75 seconds. No Doombringer, or no Kunkka, but Doom was committed. So, you know, you end up holding the Doom the first time to not get the Aegis, ends up paying off now.
I gotta say, I don't think I've ever seen a banner stolen out
Like
of
that?
the Roche pit. Yeah, like it's usually you forget it in the Roche pit. I've never seen it picked up and then left somewhere else for the opponent to take. I'm more shook over that than Kunkka dying.
It'd be a super sick bait, though. Imagine just, like, putting it in the middle river and just being smoked on the other side, being like, someone's going to get this. Someone's going to go for it,
That'd
guys.
be great. Yeah, you would see it disappear. It's just like seeing an observer appear out of nowhere, you know? It's like, they grabbed it, go, blink echo, take it. I would love it. I also wish we saw more Monkey King mischief plays. It's only ever used as a dodge, not like I'm totally a power rune. Come walk up and grab me. Surprise!
K1 here, very farmed, finished up a nullifier now. He is a big problem, especially as he gets closer to level 25 talent. You have to be very careful. You're gonna have to build nullifiers of your own. Right now they have the Basher on analog to maybe help offer some control. So you either kite him out or you build a nullifier, and maybe they're playing to kite him out with this type of draft. It's hard to say. Baden has the Blink Manta, Radiance, BKB working towards an AC. The smoke, they're searching. Aghanim Scepter is done on the clockwork, so he is going to start split pushing, clearing this top wave to try and slow down this push that they're making. They're just they smoked all the way to the base and placed a deep ward.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Never expect that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower.
Okay, we're further into the game, so I'd like to revisit the core Abaddon and the Malignant Mist. He's level 22.5, approaching the 25 AoE Mist Coil. So far, his build is exactly the same as the old core Abaddons. Thinking about an AC, had a serrated shiv, so you could apply that on hit, though that's now changed to Magnifying Monocle. Do you actually build anything for this AoE Mist?
I was gonna say, I'm almost confident he's still gonna take the attack speed talent.
Boo.
Like, I don't know if you actually take AoE Mist Coil. It's a cool idea and it's useful, but I think most of the time you're just using it to, like, Mist Coil to apply your debuff onto one target that you want to run at, right? I think AoE Mist Coil most of the time is not gonna pay off. So it might just be the attack speed talent. Refresher Doom. Monk a W.
The old fourth item timing. We've seen Heroic play around this before.
Yeah.
Aegis, 45 seconds left, so just wait this out,
They
potentially.
get the Alpha Wolf, by the way. He has it now, finally.
Oh, he's ready to go. Truly the fourth item timing.
Giant Small. Dude, this guy's gonna hit so hard.
It's actually, yeah, this is crazy. Okay, so what do you go in, if you can doom the Brewmaster before split, and then either Kunkka or Ursa before spells come out. I'd say those are your main targets for the Doom, Refresher Doom. And then just stick on a target, like whatever your team is hitting, you join in, and you'll actually add so much damage as this Doom.
This is such an insane place for the Ursa to be right now as Aegis is expiring, because you'd probably expect Heroic to be smoked, but they're not, and instead it's OG that is smoked. There it is. The smoke will come out now. Yuma's going to walk right into Moose. He gets the quick use of the ultimate, and they're going to try and bait out something here on the other side of the fight. Who do they find? It's Elmisha. Okay, that's a pretty big grab if you can finish the job. Pango should be able to. Quickly cleans it up on the other side. K1 in some trouble to jump in. They get the Doom.
Great hook shot.
He pops the BKB, gonna try and run. There's a refresher as he gets a second Shiva as they really want to try and finish him off. And I think they got him. They do. Whisper has another Doom available if he wants. Tai Lung just getting bashed up, controlled by Analog, and the Pango doing huge work, stuck inside the cogs. Tai Lung cannot go anywhere. Those are two massive kills here for the side of Heroic. They get the buyback as well. Oh, they almost find the Brewmaster as well.
The Aegis expired just before that, so no second life. You actually still have Doom available, and he's looking around, trying to find one more target. Oh no, not
That's
the
a
time to be
dieback.
catching a Watcher.
That's a dieback. I mean, this is the thing, right? Doom is so farmed that if you're solo, you are dead. Mid lane, they're going to find themselves somewhere. So she does have to pierce the veil. Going to be forced to use it, but going to be hard to get away here as the Radiance is doing a lot. There's tons of flares. Does Yuma want to commit? He has a blink in a second, but yeah, diving past tier 4s would be a little sketch.
Thinking about the Mist Coil, so you can finish the job. Even with that little extra chase, you still got 30-ish seconds. This is the tier 2 down. I guess you don't have to poke high ground. You're actually taking 2 tier 2s right now, which is really nice. Yeah, they just blink out, play it safe. Tormentor, I think, has been killed pretty on time if they want to go for that before Roche is starting to spawn. A lot of these fights are really coming down to who Whisper finds in fights. If you can get these Dooms off early, the fights go pretty easily. That last fight, they also get some advantage where OG was split up, right? Heroic kind of cut right through them as both teams were smoked. They had a much easier time picking the right targets. It's not guaranteed the next fight goes that way. It is still a very close game. We see just a 5K difference.
Yeah. You're getting so much vision out of this Clockwork, and he's also just split pushing lanes from safety, right? One of the reasons we see the Aghanims up there on Clockwork be so common, he can just take 2 creep waves every time it pops up. So he can play very deep on his side of the map, scout somewhere, and then also just clear creep waves. It's good stuff. AC done on Yuma. Do you wait for your 25s? Because you're almost there on the Doom, which is a big one, but you're also very close on the Ursa to 25.
Ursa's, I think you can wait for. He's like a couple creep camps away if his team gets away from him.
Yeah.
Maybe just 1 creep camp, honestly, if it's the Ancients that are about to spawn. So that one you definitely wait for. You're not going to get to wait for long, though, because really you just have to fight whenever Roche is up, and it's a pretty fast spawn, scouted by the Flare.
Doom gets given the Wisdom
check
Shrine
in a second, too.
So Doom's 25 now online, and this is one of the most devastating talent. Doom applies Mute. He has his Refresher already. If you find a hero to start the fight with the Doom, he also has a Blink Hex now. Where does Whisper keep getting these items? What did he sell? He sold like drums.
Money is good.
I don't know, man. This guy, he just keeps recycling his inventory into crazy stuff. He has a Scythe Refresher BKB with his 25 talent. Oh, that Flare gives away where Heroic is, but who do you find? They see the Courier. It gets taken. That is a delivered Lincolns, though, and he gets the Ursa. Heroic gonna continue the chase. Ursa is gone. El Bicho is gone. Your Muerta in trouble, burning in the center of the cogs as Illich trying to run away desperately on these Brewlings, but you are not gonna escape. This is gonna be 4 heroes dead here, most likely. He's gonna be forced to. Oh, he gets the BKB Blink. Oh, he has a shield rune. That's why. Okay.
That's great. Okay, he's gonna get out, but that's still a huge win for Heroic as Roche is up. They're gonna have some heroes push in the mid lane while everyone else heads over to the pit. This is with the Refresher and the cheese. Rocket Flare gave Heroic away, but a Courier gives away OG. Whisper just blinks in, and that's the surprise Hex reveal. Ursa gets nothing done in that entire team fight. Hex straight into Doom, breaking his items. And he never hit 25 either. I guess it wouldn't have mattered, but he was just short of 25 as well.
Yeah, that is one of those moments where last game it was El Micho making the most clutch play on the Shadow Shaman, finding the Oracle, and this time it's Whisper on the Doom finding the Ursa, and he's about to find another hero in the Bat Rider, just getting completely devoured by him. I think, yeah, he committed to Doom even. Wow, okay. Whisper, yeah, this guy is really feeling himself this game.
I do think Doom is a pretty big part of their team fight, so they should be careful. I think the nice thing about using Doom there is that it relatively lines up with the Refresher Orb. You know, wait 100 seconds, you'll have both.
Dire's top
There's Bat Rider's dead, so you can push right now.
Yeah.
I've seen this before. Roshan banner dropped on the floor. Guys, someone go grab that.
I wonder if it's just, worried about the lasso more than anything. And they're like, yeah, we'd rather just kill the Bat Rider and maybe we force his buyback, but now at least there's no lasso.
He's gonna spawn soon. I don't think you push this that hard without Doom, now that the whole team is up. Oh, you can if you find a solo target. Doom is chasing Brewmaster. Forced out a BKB in the bottom lane. All right, there is a window here where you have double Doom and they have no BKB on the Brewmaster. Clockwork's going Octarine? I didn't even notice.
Why
That's
not?
really cool, though, because
More
he's
spam.
got the Aghanims. So Rocket Flare's really good scouting. And we've seen, if Doom finds the right target, how easy the fight is. So now you just spam out Rocket Flares to get vision and let Whisper act on that information.
He's got it, baby. What's it? What level 20 talent did he take? He did take Rocket Flare True
Clockwork?
Sight. I was like, I wonder if he goes to True Sight Flare. It's like the power cogs is pretty good, but like when he's this farmed, the True Sight's kind of sick.
Especially if you're going Ags, it's
Yeah.
pretty worth it to get the True Sight. Especially as you get into the late game and you don't have
Jesus.
slots. I mean, we've seen how rich Doom is, you know? It's like, I don't want to carry detection. So you get a lot of help from the Rocket Flare True Sight.
I was trying to think. I was like, what even is a Baton Shard anymore? This is the old Mephetic Shroud, basically. I didn't realize.
My Divine Rager on this Abaddon. I've been lied to.
Dude, he's just he's just looking for wards. Like actually on the Clockwork, he's just flaring every potential area there could be wards. He's like, all right, there's wards here, there's sentries here. Like, oh my goodness. He reveals the whole enemy team and he knows exactly where they have vision now as well. Kind of sick.
Why it's so good. And overclocking is already up again because of Octarine Core.
His hype. He'll just pop it again and start taking the bottom wave because he knows it's pushing in.
Usually you don't have the mana to sustain this, but the Octarine Core and Yules, along with the Mystical Enchantment, you can actually do this endlessly.
This is so stupid. Like, you actually just could, yeah, it's actually nuts how good this is. It's like 30 to 40, or it's like a 40% uptime.
Dire are scanning.
And this is why you still would not have eaten any chainmails if you took that facet. 50 minutes into the game, still filling out your slots. Hang on, guys. I'm almost at the point. I'm gonna start eating chainmails.
He's getting farmed, man. He's just clearing, like, bottom wave will never push in from OG. It's just not possible because of this Clockwork. They're going to find a shield rune here on the bottom side. See who decides to pick it off. And yeah, Yuma goes in, gets the D ward as they know that there's a ward there. Whisper will take
Dire's bottom
the shield
tower
rune.
is
He's
under
actually
attack.
got the Dispel creep. Kind of cool.
Way to break the Lincolns that Kunkka has and the Ursa has. Brewmaster has one too, actually. I didn't realize they all got one.
Smoked up here on the side of OG, looking for, I mean, honestly, finding Schofield would be really solid. He has been super pesky.
Aegis is expiring if you can find a fight now. But
Yeah.
Heroic reads it. They're all backing up. Ever since that last fight where Whisper was able to find the Ursa instantly, OG has been so scared. They're playing so safely. Part of it was waiting out the Aegis that they lost. That's gone now, so they tried to make a play here. I suspect it's going to quickly go back to playing very carefully together.
Yeah, I mean, the net worth is really starting to become a problem. Like, I mean, I don't even know where Doom goes with his item build at this point, to be honest. Like, he has Blink, Refresher, Scythe. Like, maybe he goes an Aghanim Scepter just because he can, right? Like, what is the next, like, general item? I think he bought an Overwhelming Blink, maybe. I'm not sure. Either way, they're smoked up. Flares, here they come. He's going to start revealing everybody. The Ursa is the dream target, but he will find LB show. Oh, he did buy an axe. Would you look at that? Okay, Whisper gets himself his first kill. Brewmaster in trouble. Don't fight up. There's another Doom. Does he need it? He will. Goodbye. 2 members of OG will die to this Doom as they get a hook shot to find the Muerta as well. Now, there are some buybacks left. But I mean, this is a heavy commitment. You spent everything on the side of Heroic. You still have, I guess, Ice Blast, which is something. I hear another, oh no, that's overclocking. I was like, I hear a refresher, and that's just overclocking doing its shenanigans.
So hard. Look how slow they are with the Rocket Flare spam, though. They're trying to defend.
Whisper just goes
doesn't
in.
have much, but still strong enough to go in.
Whisper needs to be careful. He's in pretty deep. The Ursa does a lot of damage, but Cyclone off, X back into mode. In comes Yuma to try and save him. Pulled back into another tide, but they can't kill him. Whisper just survives, and Yuma will finally get himself the kill here onto Hector as he shatters under the Ice Blast. You are too far behind without an Ursa for 95 seconds. Heroic may have punched their ticket to the grand finals, and OG, better luck next time, potentially.
Seconds, no Ursa. You're gonna lose your Bat Rider here as well. I mean, the buildings haven't fallen yet.
They still have a
you can maybe
cheese.
hang on. Yeah, you can maybe hang on for one more fight, but you're losing multiple barracks here. And if you lose any more heroes, I think it's definitely over. Unless you go straight to the throne.
I mean, you don't have a fortification. You'll get one, I guess, here in a moment, but oh boy, you said if you don't lose heroes, but you're losing some more heroes, baby. Ice Blast onto the Kunkka, Rolling Thunder to finish off Illage. He will immediately buy back, but it is 1v5. They will
Tidal
drop
them
the
into
Rose
the
Banner and go straight
fountain.
for the tier 4s.
Well,
You are on a
done,
timer.
Heroic.
It's your last fort. You're going to have to use it. But 29 seconds before the Ursa is up, this Abaddon is swinging that scythe, man. Whisper, well, he jumps in. He's got another Doom. It's back off cooldown. Even an Abyssal Blade, I don't know. They don't think you're surviving this one on the Kunkka. He is dead inside the fountain. And GG comes
trying
out.
to snipe it.
That is going to do it. Heroic. Keeping themselves alive in this tournament. Very well done from them. They will take the series 2.